What's the logic that God's imaginary? You said there's no logic that he's not imaginary. What's the logic that he is imaginary?
How old are you?
20?
Okay. Yeah, God, well, we can look at the problem of evil, divine hiddenness. These are logical issues with God, the omni paradoxes, omnipotence, omniscience, free will paradox, things like that.
So evil's just separation from God. God didn't create evil. God created love, and evil's just lack of love.
It doesn't solve the problem. Why is there evil in the world, right? The problem is, if God is all good, why is there evil in the world?
God created himself, God created you, and God gave you the free will to separate
Wait, is
from
this
him.
Dean?
He's not forcing you
You
to,
sound like Dean. Is this Dean?
no, he's not forcing you to be with him and spend your time with him. And that is what can lead to evil. If you spend your time with God, you're not going to be evil.
Okay, do you even understand what I'm asking you? Why does evil exist in the first place if God is all good?
Because God gives you free will. And because you have free will, that is where evil comes from.
No, it doesn't. Because
Yes.
does okay, here's why. Does God have free will?
Yes.
Does God ever do evil?
No.
There you
But
go.
but
Just because you have free will doesn't mean you'll do evil, right? So we can
but you
imagine a
do.
world where everybody has free will but never chooses evil, right?
Okay, but let me ask you this. Are you a perfect person?
I don't know what perfect means.
Have you ever made a mistake?
Yeah, but
Well,
mistakes are subjective, and what is perfect is subjective.
that's
That's
the
besides
difference
the point.
between you and God, is
You
God
just
makes no
deflected.
mistakes.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that we are imperfect, God is perfect.
Yep.
Problem is, it doesn't matter. Um, God could have made a world where everybody is imperfect, but has the free will to make the choice to go to heaven and to be good, right? But God didn't make that world. God made this one where people choose to go to hell. Why didn't He make the one where people choose to go to heaven?
Because why would God force you to spend your time with him if
Nobody's
that's
forcing.
not what you
Nobody's
want?
forcing. Nobody's forcing them.
Exactly. That's
They
what I'm
all have
saying.
free will. They all have free will.
Nobody is forcing you to choose God, and nobody is forcing you not
Look,
to
you're
choose
not
God.
listening.
You have your
You're not
free
listening. You're
will.
not listening. You're not listening. Imagine a world where
Okay.
everybody has free will. They all choose good.
Mm-hmm.
In that world, there's no evil, right?
Right.
Great. So why didn't God make that one?
Well, God gave you free will. It's not God.
That's
God
not what
gave.
I asked you. Look, I know we have free will. We don't actually have free will. But that's besides the point. Why did God make the world where evil actualizes? Why did He make that one instead of why didn't He make that one instead of this one?
Why I don't understand. Why did God? God isn't. He didn't make the world where we choose evil or where we choose good. He gave us free will. So if we all were in a world where we only
I
would
know.
do
Stop
good,
saying free will. Stop saying free will. I know we have free will. Free will is still intact in that world. Everybody has free will in that world. They just choose to go to heaven. They don't choose evil in that world. That's the point. Why didn't God make that world? There's many possible worlds that can exist. That is one of them, one where there's no evil. Why didn't God make that one?
well, because without evil, the whole basis of religion and especially Christianity and believing in Christ is your faith. And your faith has to be tested. It can't just be everything's all like sunshine and
Why?
rainbows.
Why does
And
it have to
so,
be tested?
why does it have to be tested? Why does your faith have to be tested?
Yeah.
That's the only way to ensure that it's genuine.
But why do we have to have faith at all?
Because God doesn't want you to do something that you don't want to do. So if you put your faith in Him, then you're making that.
Why do we have to have faith to know God? Why, to be genuine? We can still be genuine without faith. We don't faith is not needed. You don't need to test. None of that's necessary. God could have made a world where everything's good and happy. He didn't have to make this shitty world.
Well, that's the whole point, is that because evil exists and because not everyone's making the choice to
You're
always be
not
good.
understanding the problem. The problem is evil is unnecessary. There's no logical necessity for evil. So
What
why
you
does it exist?
what you're not understanding is that that does exist so that it puts your faith to the test, so that God can decide if your faith is truly genuine, and therefore,
What do you
if it's
mean God
genuine,
knows?
then
Does God know the future?
yeah.
So he knows what we already think before we think it. So why the fuck would he have to test us?
There two things can exist at once. God can know the future and God can have this plan that's already in motion that he already knows how it's going to go, but he still has given you the free will. He
Oh,
he knows whether or not you're
wait
going
a
to be
minute.
saved. He knows whether or not you are eventually going to decide to put your faith in him or
Wait a
not,
minute. This
but you
doesn't
still
make
have the free
sense.
will to
If
do
you're going to
so.
say that we have free will, that seems incompatible with omniscience. Because if God knows the future must happen. I can't choose otherwise. So that means God is either not omniscient or we don't have free will. Which one is it?
No, both can exist at the same time. Just because God knows
Okay.
what the future is does not mean that you don't have free will.
Okay. Let's test this out.
Okay.
God knows tomorrow morning I'm going to buy a box of donuts for breakfast. Okay.
Hmm.
Tomorrow morning comes about. What am I going to buy? The box of donuts, right?
Yeah.
Could I have chosen a box of cookies instead?
Yeah, you could have.
But I didn't.
Exactly.
So I cannot choose those cookies. I
You
can't.
could have chose the cookies. You can have free will and God can
No,
know how
no.
you're going to
God, if
exercise
God
your free
knows,
will
if
at the same
God,
time.
hold on, if God knows I'm going to buy the donuts, I cannot choose the cookies because God's knowledge is infallible. It must be right.
Well, if you were going to choose the cookies, then God would have known that you were going to choose the cookies.
Right, but there's only one actualized outcome. Only one outcome happens, and God always knows that one outcome.
Hmm.
So our actions are always in alignment with God's foreknowledge, meaning we don't have free will to choose other than what God knows I will choose.
That doesn't contradict with what free will is.
It absolutely does, because free will is the lack of influence. Obviously, in this world we live in, we're influenced by God's plan.
Could you make a choice right now with
Not what I that's can you address the problem I just made before I kick you?
I don't understand the problem that you made because what you
Try next time. Next.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. So you saying God is imaginary. Is that what you think yourself?
Yeah, it's as imaginary as Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat.
And what is that based off of, if you don't mind me asking?
The overwhelming lack of evidence.
And I understand that completely. As a Christian myself, at some points in my life, I have thought as well, what
Okay,
if there is no
congratulations.
God?
Congratulations. Now, do you have evidence for God?
Yes, sir. You know the 500 witnesses that seen God come back. Or not God, Jesus, sorry. That saw
Nobody
Jesus
saw
come
God.
back after his death.
What's the evidence that these people saw Jesus come back?
The 500 witnesses.
No, you don't have. You have a claim of those witnesses. You don't actually have a source for those witnesses.
Those witnesses are the sources from the Bible.
Yeah, the same thing making the claim, right? You can't use the claim to prove the claim. That's circular. Do you have any independent verifiable data that demonstrates that this guy resurrected like a zombie?
Me personally, I don't. Um, but
Okay.
that's again why faith is a big part in it because
Mm,
and a
yeah.
lot of people will call it blind faith as well.
Yep, I
Um,
call it that. Yeah, that's what I call it.
yeah,
Because you know
yeah.
you have no evidence, so you just say I believe it, right? I believe, I believe,
And
I believe, I believe. That's not.
right. In my opinion, my complete opinion, it is much better to believe in something that is all good instead of it being not true. But it's better to just have that lifestyle and just be a better person in general.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that's only from your perspective. From my perspective, I have a way better life and I don't believe in God because of it, right? So it's like my life is way better without a God. So it's not like it's not either. It's not like I have to suffer because I'm an atheist. My life can still be amazing without God. So it's a win-win for me.
Right.
So
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I understand that completely. You have a good day, man.
Opinion.
What's up?
Hi, how can I help you?
So, God is real for sure.
Okay.
Because, like, how is the universe here?
How old are you?
18?
Okay. Well, when we ask why is the universe here or how is it here, that's a loaded question. That's a huge question, right? Maybe it always was. We don't know. Nobody knows. But I just because you don't know how the universe got here doesn't mean God is more likely, right? So you can't even use this as an argument for God. This is an argument from ignorance.
But, like, what do you think of, like, the Big Bang? Like, what does it mean? Because, like, I see definitions of, like, it expanding from a singular point, but then I hear you say that it's just the expansion in general.
There is no one point where everything expanded from, right? The expansion's happening everywhere in all parts of space and time. But it's this rapid expansion from a smaller, hotter, denser state. Um, but it's not has no bearing on the beginning or the universe's beginning at all. Dan, do you have evidence for God or?
No, not really. I don't even believe in God.
Okay, have a good day. Thanks for wasting our time. Next. God.
How you doing, sir? Hello?
How old are you?
19.
Okay, and what do you got?
Um, I want to say like I believe that there's a creator because we have a rational mind, and this rational mind cannot come from an irrational mind, right? It has to be gifted. We can conceptually solve things, and we have a consciousness. We have moral laws set in place that we can define as good and bad, and bad is clearly evil, and we don't define what is good as good or bad unless you're an atheist. And
Okay, so we can explain all that by just like through science and physics. The brain being rational is an emergent phenomenon, right? The rationality is just what the mind does. It's a brain process. So that's explained by physics. You don't need God for that.
so you believe in everything is chemical reactions, basically. But what's your explanation for love? Do you think love is a chemical reaction?
Absolutely.
So, but I have free will to love you or not, though. That's the
No, you
thing.
don't. You don't. That's the thing. You
So,
don't. Free will doesn't exist.
so say, did you believe in love though, right?
Yeah, I believe in love.
But love cannot be a chemical reaction thing because it's not. I have the free will to love you. If it was a chemical reaction, it would not be
So
free will.
can you freely choose to love a dog like romantic, like sexually?
No,
There
no,
you go. You can't
no.
freely love somebody like that, right?
Yes, because
Your brain is influenced by factors to love something. It's not fully in your control.
no, because for Jesus, for example, do you love Jesus or no?
No, I don't know who that guy is.
All right, but I love Jesus. You see how I have the free will to love Jesus and you don't? That's a choice, and
No,
that's not a reaction.
you only love Jesus because you were taught to, right? Your church told you that. Your mom told you that. Your daddy told you that.
No,
Right. that's the point. Your decisions are being decided by influences external to you.
Yeah, everything is external. We're not just here, you know what I mean? You're a human, I'm a human, and you have structure. There's an architect, there's an anarchy behind what it is that we are, right? We are human.
Demonstrate that. Demonstrate there's an architect behind allergies and
All right,
cancer.
I got you. All right, so define moralness to me. Define moral laws. That I don't want to just bring moral laws because there's way more. But one example is moral laws because as an atheist, you can say raping a kid is good, right? Because
You can say that as a Christian.
no, not as because that's clearly evil as that's common sense.
Well,
Atheists,
the point is that anybody can have opinions about something being good or bad. That's what we think. I have opinions. It's always wrong to me to grape. Okay, and I'm an atheist. I don't need God to know that. I don't need God to have opinions about morality. I don't need God for
if you
anything.
think raping is bad, but if everything is a chemical reaction, nothing is good or bad, is what I'm trying to say.
No.
So that's
wrong.
basically being a contradiction because if everything's a chemical reaction, nothing defines good or bad as an atheist.
Sure it does. It's things that are good are things we prefer. Things that are bad are things we don't prefer. That's all morality means. I don't need God. I don't need to read a book to know that. By the way, your Bible says a lot of bad things. The Bible says you can own slaves and beat them. You can rape a child.
I'm pretty sure that was in Old Testament, and slavery was different back then, though, bro. You feel me?
Oh, okay. How is it different? How is it so that it was okay to beat somebody back then?
No, it was not okay. It
Okay,
was.
great. Then why does your God allow it?
I don't know how to explain that. I can't explain that verse, but trust, you're asking the wrong guy, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm not like a Bible fanatic, but I know logically the truth. There's no explanation of this reality in terms of how the structure of it and how it makes complete sense and everything is so perfect. That all does not come from chemical reactions.
You said something peculiar. You said that the universe is perfect.
Yes.
Can you demonstrate an imperfect universe?
Without the sun, for example, if we didn't have the sun, if we didn't have the air, if anything was wrong, we would not be able to live on this planet. If any little thing.
So a universe with a person is perfect, but a universe that has no person is imperfect? You're saying that we're the ones that make the universe perfect?
So do you believe in fine-tunement? You know the fine-tunement of things? Can you explain fine-tuning? Because everything is so perfect. The things within these things are so perfect that it produces this output in terms of...
Look. We exist. That's all we know. We only have one universe to go by. We don't know of any other universes. So as far as we are concerned, there is no fine-tuning for life.
Sir, time though. That's another example of there's time. There's time. We're alive, bro. Like there's time. Time is going by.
Okay, I understand. It's amazing. Time. Wow. But it doesn't mean God exists. It doesn't mean God exists because there's time.
It literally does though, bro. We're not.
How? Can you provide that logic for us?
All right, everything we do as human is beyond. What are you capable of in terms of being a human? We are incapable of doing anything, sir. We can't literally do anything.
Okay,
we literally can't.
I can rise from the dead. I can rise from the dead.
It's beyond your will as a human being, sir. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Everything is beyond your will, and is why you're so limited. Why are you limited? Why can't you fly, sir?
Because I didn't evolve to do that. I evolved under certain parameters.
No. So how come did birds evolve? Aren't we supposed to continue evolving?
Birds are pressured to grow wings and fly. We were not pressured to do so.
Sir, I think if we were continuing to evolve, we'll be able to have wings, and etc.
That's not how evolution works.
So throughout time.
Hold on, it works under certain environments. we are under certain conditions, and we will evolve to fit those environments. The fittest of the survival. It's natural selection.
But everything is beyond our will. We don't just
What does that mean? What are you talking about? And how does this demonstrate God exists?
because we're limited in terms of everything. We're limited. We don't just.
So what? So
we-
what? Why does that mean God
So
exists?
all right. So we've evolved as who we are today. Where were we 1,000 years ago? How were we? Who were we? If we evolved to these creatures as
Look, you don't understand evolution. It doesn't happen in like a 10-year, 20-year period. It takes many, many generations, hundreds, thousands of generations to see big changes. This isn't Power Rangers. This isn't morphing time. It takes many, many years, millions of years.
bro. So you're even millions of years, bro. So we've been on Earth for about. So define the year 2024. Then 2024 years ago was when. Why we're in 2024 exactly? Shouldn't it be a billion, trillion, gazillion?
No, that's not how calendars work. We just made up the calendar. That's just arbitrary. It's just a
The
fucking
truth
date.
to that is Jesus came 24 years ago, sir.
No, that's not the truth. The Gregorian calendar was decided by the Roman Catholic Church in the 15 in the like.
But how do you know
16th
that
century.
Romans were real, sir?
Because
That's all in your
they
head.
still are. They're still real today. We have their
Oh,
architecture.
I thought
We
you
have
meant
their- we
the
have their
Roman
documents.
Empire. I apologize.
Yeah, we know they existed. We have like lots of archaeological evidence of that. Now,
So
what's the
same with
evidence of God?
Jesus. Then
That doesn't mean he rose from the dead or turned into a god.
we have eyewitness accounts. We have scripture, brother.
Where's the eyewitness account?
It's in the Bible, John, Matthew, Luke, in the New Testament.
Those are not eyewitness testimonies. Those are after the fact. Those are decades after Jesus even died. They're not eyewitness accounts.
No, that's probably the Quran made by Muhammad. That, and I'm not gonna bring in other religions.
No, sir. The consensus amongst biblical scholars is that the Gospels were not contemporary. They were written decades after Jesus died. They were first orally transmitted, and then they were linguistically written down in the Gospels and added to the New Testament hundreds of years later. So what you have is a collection of stories that have no contemporary substance.
But what about the holy city though? There's plenty of evidence, sir. There's plenty of geographic evidence and prophecies actually being fulfilled. And
Where prophecy? Give an example.
all right, so I'll give you a perfect example. There's a couple, but one that's coming up ahead is April 8th. There's an eclipse coming, and that eclipse is in the Bible. And something to do with Jonah. But another one is, look up that eclipse. But I also want you to look up
April 8th eclipse is in the Bible. What verse is that?
the eclipse. It's in Jonah. I swear, I wish I knew.
Sir, you're talking about the eclipse in the next week is in the Bible.
The 28th, yes. This next month, yes.
Okay, no. First of all, eclipses happen all the time. They're not rare.
Yeah, but this is not a regular eclipse, sir.
Yes, it is. Solar eclipses happen all the fucking time on the planet, sir. They've happened since the Earth was formed, billions of years ago. But furthermore, even if you have a prediction of an eclipse, it doesn't mean God exists. People can predict that shit. It's just math and physics. It doesn't take a god to know that the fucking moon will cross the Earth's atmosphere. The sun will cross the Earth's atmosphere. That's not godly knowledge.
Bro, all right. There are. I'll give you another example. The river turning drying up. It's literally drying up. There's a bunch of prophecies. I'm just not the perfect.
Every river dries up. Every river dries up eventually, and it flows back again and dries up again.
But it's a specific river. But I can't. I don't want to refer so much to the Bible. Like I just believe in Christ. But I want to go like a logical perspective because I know you don't believe nothing in the Bible. So me bringing up facts in the Bible, you're just gonna attack the external things of the Bible when I go internal. You know what I mean? So if we're gonna look at this from a logical perspective, bro, right? You said love is a chemical reaction, but we have free will. The God gave us free will to
Stop saying things. Stop making claims and give evidence for it, please.
All right, because the fine tuning and their limitation on power. You can't do anything. You can't fly.
Let's just say there's fine tuning. Why does that mean God exists?
Because Because the things within things that make you think the way you think, sir, that doesn't happen from chemical reactions.
All
A
right.
chemical reaction.
Have a good day. I can no longer talk to you.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? So I have one question for you. Do you think that talking magical donkeys could have existed?
No.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. Okay. I didn't even know you was gonna pick me. Hi. To prove that God is not imaginary. Well, God is not in the sky. I'm not a Christian. I'm not Islamic. I'm not any of the religions that everybody is in here bashing you about. God is actually, if basically the Bible and the Quran and all of these stories are all, like you were saying, a bunch of collections. Excuse me.
Ma'am, do you believe in God?
No, yeah, I was going to tell you. Of course, I believe in God, but God is
What's
not
the
in the
evidence?
sky.
What's the evidence of your God?
Well, God is not. He's not in the sky. God, when the Bible claims that God is we're in the image of Him and all that stuff, we are the God. We are the God in the collection of our consciousness. Everything that they describe in the Bible and they say, oh, God made a thought, right?
Okay.
Let me finish. They said God made a thought and he thought, let there be light, and there was. So there's scientific evidence that states that the human consciousness and the human brain, you can create your reality with your thoughts
Oh,
and the
really?
things that you.
Oh, really? Wow, that's amazing. Where's your source for that? Where's your
Oh, okay.
scientific source?
Okay. The only issue is that when I come out and go back in, that my phone mutes, and I don't want you to hang up before I come back with the facts. But
Yeah.
let me finish the point, and then I'll go back
Yeah.
before I get off, and I'll cite everything. Okay. So it's scientifical proven that everything in our bodies, everything that they describe in the Bible, has a scientifical answer for that. Like when they talk about the third eye and your intuition, there's
No,
actually.
man, this is garbage. And you should be embarrassed of yourself for saying this shit. There
I
is
didn't
no
even finish.
evidence of a third eye. First of all,
You
change
didn't
your
let me
fucking.
finish. There's actually.
You're right. I didn't let you finish because you're spouting nonsense. And your fucking smoke alarm is beeping. Go change your battery. Okay? There is no scientific evidence for the third eye. Okay? It's zero. If you're gonna make that ridiculous claim, you better have fucking good evidence for it right now, right? If you're gonna come up here and debate me, be prepared. Give the data. I'm sorry, but I'm tired of people spouting nonsense, spreading misinformation.
We're good because of you.
What? Did they say Jesus Jeebus loves me?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
So I come from a very scientific perspective as well. God is a very ambiguous term. My first question to you would be, obviously dimensions exist, right? First, second, third, fourth dimension.
Yeah. Now, what's your evidence for God, sir?
So I want to understand what your definition of God is first. Like, if you're saying you don't believe
It's
in
the
God,
standard definition, a supreme being with the omnipotent properties. Now, do you
okay.
have evidence for your God?
So I technically believe in a supreme being, but evidence, I mean, I'm talking about other dimensions, right? I believe I'm a very scientific
Okay. So where's your evidence for God now?
evidence. So evidence is very hard as as like a person that is very low, right? Like if you were to ask an ant where's your evidence of humans being superior? It's going to be very difficult for them. So we as a being that's very low in understanding, like if you believe in aliens, let's just say, or UFOs, they have a very supreme technology that's able to travel. Right? Or am I going wrong here, or what? What's going on?
Okay, I'm sorry, sir, but do you have evidence for God before I kick you?
If you want to kick me, that's totally fine. But
Guys, it's not that hard, right? You're thinking too hard. I understand why these questions make you think, but all we want is some data or facts that point to God existing, right? You can talk about dimensions and aliens, great, but define God first and then show that this thing might exist out there. That's all we want to see, right? It shouldn't be that hard to give evidence for it.
Hello. So I want to know exactly what kind of evidence that would you take to say that God's real? Because I talk to atheists all the time. So I'm on the groups and everything like that. And they pretty much say nothing. There's nothing that's going to make them change their mind.
Okay, great. Then give me evidence. That'll change my mind. So do you have evidence for God?
Okay, well, I don't have any scientific evidence, but how did we get here? But we just didn't come from or like these cells and all that stuff. You know, I wanted to debate you so much.
Let's just say we don't know how we got here, right? Does that mean God exists because we don't know something?
No.
I don't know how we got here, therefore God. Does that make sense to you?
I just, how can I say? And like I said, I talk to atheists all the time. And only thing they'll take, hey, don't roll your eyes. Don't roll your eyes, okay? Now, I deal with them all the time on groups. And they're such freaking assholes. I mean, they are. Even when I'm trying to be nice to them. And
Ma'am, you're yapping. I'm sorry, right? It's not that atheists are just automatically mad. Atheists typically understand your perspective as Christians or religious people. We typically understand where you're coming from. That's why we get frustrated, because we know how ridiculous your beliefs are, right? We know that you're just believing on blind faith and you have no evidence, but you continuously make excuses for your lack of evidence. That's why we get frustrated. All you had to do there was give us evidence, but you didn't, right? You just kind of went, you know.
Okay, I'm here.
Hi, how are you? What do you got?
I'm doing well. Generally, this question is asked as if there is no understanding of order. Order is not random. Order is not arbitrary. Order is generally found when there is an orderer.
Okay.
There's too much architect.
Great. So you're saying everything around us is ordered, therefore God?
I'm saying there's too much order for there not to be God.
Okay, great. That's what I just said. Now, what is more orderly, me or God? Which one's more orderly?
God's obviously more orderly because, from my perspective,
Wow. So by your own logic, who ordered God? There must be a God orderer.
and by your own logic, but by your own logic, all that is an accident.
No. All there is shit happens. It's not an accident. It's probability.
That's an accident.
Or it's necessity.
But that's an accident.
What?
But that is, by definition, an accident. Nothing planned.
An accident implies that it had been another way, but another mistake happened. That's an accident. That's not how the universe works. We only have one universe, hence it could be necessarily this way. Maybe this universe could not have been another way, and it could have only been this way, making it necessary. We don't know. Or perhaps there's an infinite number of universes where we just happen to be one out of a billion. We don't know. But if you're going to say there's order, therefore God, I just showed you that your God is orderly, meaning you need an order for God. Furthermore, we know how order arises. Gravity, laws of nature, the weak force, nuclear force, these forces in nature can yield order. It's just physics, my friend.
Actually, the level of physics necessary to wind up with consciousness, the fact that you and I are in different places, the fact that you and I are communicating, the fact that the molecules in my mind are able to produce thoughts that I can transmit to your mind, by definition is order. And it's order beyond accident. It's order beyond coincidence.
I understand, sir, but nobody said it was an accident, so stop saying it was an accident.
Well, why can't I say it's an accident? That's my opinion. Why can't you have an opinion?
Because you're not bringing facts to the table. We don't care about your fucking opinion.
I did bring facts to the table.
Sir, I'm sorry, but we just don't care about your opinion. We care about logic and facts.
But aren't you expressing an opinion?
Yeah, but I want you to bring the facts to the table to prove me wrong. That's the point.
Okay, I'm bringing the facts to the table.
All you're doing is saying, I
cannot be an accident.
All
of this cannot be coincidence. All of this cannot be arbitrarily or capriciously done.
Why not? Why not? Why can't this be coincidence?
Because it is too well ordered. When you get this much creativity, you have a creator.
Please, sir. Why does it mean that something so ordered it cannot be an accident? Why? Or it cannot be probability? Why?
Well, the same way if you walk by a house and you look at it and it's up out of the ground, it can't be an accident. It can't be arbitrary. Someone had to do that.
Right, but when I look at something like a weather system on the Earth, is there somebody making the weather happen? Is there a magic weatherman making the weather happen?
No, there's not.
Even though the weather system on the Earth is super complex, it doesn't mean God did it. There's a natural reason why it's complex. Complexity can arise naturally. Order can arise naturally. You don't need a magic God to do it. This is why your argument's shit.
I like the way you said that. I actually like the way you said that. It can happen naturally. It can happen arbitrarily. It can.
Great. So why does God? What makes you think God is more likely?
My point is that it's so unlikely because of the structure. It's so unlikely because of the order.
Okay, great. Now, can you please fucking attack the first thing I just said?
I didn't use profanity talking to you. That was disrespectful.
Sir, don't take it personally. It's not about you. I'm just cursing because that's just who I am. Now, when it comes to your God,
thank you.
I already told you before that your God was ordered, and you conceded he was ordered. So, don't you think somebody ordered God?
No.
Great. So why is it that you're special pleading and saying that God doesn't need a designer, but the universe does? Why?
Because it didn't take but one entity to do it. It didn't take a collective.
What does it even mean, sir? That's not what I asked you. Why are you special pleading? Why are you saying that the universe needs a design, but God does not?
Because God always was and always will be.
Then why can't we say that for the universe? Why can't we say that for the universe? The universe always was and always will be. That's it. We're done.
If you just had the universe, if you just had sticks and stones, if you just had rock and stars and innate objects and things of that nature, but once you had creation, once you had intelligence, once you had consciousness, those things cannot arise out of nothingness.
Nobody said they did. Stop strawmanning. Nobody said consciousness just arose out of thin air. In fact, if anything, it's you. You're saying one day God went poof and everything magically fucking appeared in 6 days.
Okay,
In
I'm not
actuality,
going to talk to you anymore because you disrespect me with that cursing. See ya. God bless you. I'm gone.
okay. I apologize if it was meant, if you're offended by that. It was not meant to be offensive, okay? It's just a curse word. It's okay. You're going to survive. But guys, don't you see how ridiculous what he was saying was? Oh, the universe is ordered. I don't understand how consciousness arose. It can't come from nothing, therefore God. That's a non sequitur. Consciousness, I agree, is an amazing elaborate process, but none of these things require somebody to make it. Period. It seems to me as if Christians use the argument from ignorance every single time. I don't know why we're this way, therefore God did it. Why are we orderly? Therefore God did it. Why do we have consciousness? Therefore God did it. It's always, I don't know, therefore God. That seems fallacious to me, right? It seems a bit strange. Thank you, Sheila, for the galaxy.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Great. What do you got?
Great. So, listen, do you see the wind blow?
Yeah.
You can see the wind?
Yeah, we can see the wind blowing on trees.
Right. Correct. But you don't see the wind.
I can see like a paper cliff or paper
Right.
mache, or
Right.
I can
So
see it
you know
moving.
the wind exists, even though you don't see it. You see what it blows.
Yeah,
right?
we see what it blows. Yeah.
Okay. So in evolution, I guess my question is, how come evolution keeps changing? I mean, I'm like 58. I was taught like Darwin, and then that we evolved from apes, but apes are still not evolving. And then we get to the theory where a reptile grows a feather and you become
Okay,
a
ma'am.
bird. So I guess I
Ma'am,
don't
how old are you,
understand
ma'am? How old are
it
you, ma'am?
keeps
How old are
changing.
you?
God never changes. It's still the
Ma'am,
same story.
ma'am, how old are you?
I'm 58.
Okay. The fact that you're 58 years old and you have not took the time to learn evolution is very sad to me.
I have no
Because
reason to learn
evolution is a
evolution because
very
it keeps
much
changing and changing.
evolution is very much a fact that we can observe, and it doesn't mean we morph into a fucking pterosaur. It doesn't mean we suddenly morph into Power Rangers. That's not how evolution works. Evolution is small changes over generational time, and that is something we observe in the fossil record, in our DNA, in labs. And yes, the world around us changes. That's how we can describe it. We can describe the changes we see through evolution, natural selection. Science is a way of describing how the world operates. Now, just because you say God doesn't change doesn't make it true. Snuffleupagus monster never changes. Does that make him true? Cat in the Hat never changed. Does that make him true? No. Just because you have a book that doesn't change does not make it any more true. So do you have an actual argument for us today or no? Which one?
I gave you the argument. You went over it. You went around it because evolution keeps changing. You cannot explain why evolution keeps changing.
It's called replication.
So, do you believe the Darwin theory? I mean that was the first one that came out. That's got to be the word. It's got to be Darwin.
Ma'am, do you know what
That's how
sex?
we all existed from apes, right?
Ma'am, do you know what sex is?
Actually, I don't know.
Sex is when you reproduce with somebody, okay?
Yeah.
That process
Okay.
that process allows for change to occur, okay? Every time you have sex and you get somebody pregnant, their genetic material is a bit different, right? It's the mix of the parents. That DNA then gets passed down. They have children, they have children, they have children. It gets increasingly more different. That's generational change in our genes and allele frequencies. That's how evolution happens, okay? It's not like one day I wake up and I turn into a dinosaur. It's not evolution. So if that's what you think it means, it's not, okay?
So why are we not all still turning it? Why are not monkeys evolving into humans?
Because humans are not the pinnacle of evolution.
You just said that they change over time after time, but
Yes,
we still
but
have monkeys. We still have monkeys. We still
yes,
have humans.
because they're changing into different types of species. Every species undergoes different trajectories because of different pressures they undergo. We are one branch of the tree. Think of evolution like a tree. There's many branches. Each branch is another species, and each branch has their own pathway. Humans have our own pathway. Chimps have their own pathway. Lizards have their own way. Everybody has their own path on
Well,
a
we
tree.
evolved from monkeys, so how do we have our own path? How does everybody have their own path if we evolved from monkeys?
We didn't evolve from monkeys. We share
Well,
common
that's
descent.
Darwin's theory. I mean, that's your science. So your science changed.
No, it's
So you
not.
don't believe Darwin then?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but you don't fucking understand evolution.
No, listen, dude, you don't have to swear, but listen, you're right. I don't understand evolution
Yes, you don't
because
understand.
there's so much that's created by a creator. Your
Prove it.
body
Prove it.
alone
Prove
to
it.
see
Prove it.
color,
Prove it. Prove it.
to heal itself. I did. Dude, you said that you could not see the wind, but you know the wind exists. It's the same thing.
Okay, great. So how do you know that God exists? How do you measure God?
I see God's creation and what he has made.
How do you
There's
know?
stuff
How
on
do
the
you know?
planet that you can't explain. You can't explain why humans see color. You can't explain why
Yes,
we
we
only
can.
use a certain amount of our brain. You
Yes, we
can't
can.
explain
That's
why
not
we
true. That's not even
heal.
true, man. That's not even
That's
true.
but that's not evolution because we heal. If I cut myself,
Ma'am, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We do use all of our brain. You're lying. You're making up excuses. You're not even telling the truth. Look, we don't come from monkeys. We share common ancestry with monkeys of the past. All primates share a common ancestor about 30 million years ago, 50 million years ago. But since then, we changed and we branched out to different species. That's evolution, ma'am. And if you don't understand that, I'm sorry, go learn it, right? I'm not Bill Nye. I cannot teach you. But you're not fit for this debate because you don't fucking know what you're talking about, right? Talking to you is like talking to a wall. Go learn. Go learn.
Hello?
Old enough to learn. Please do it.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Yeah, you've been having this debate for quite some time, but what I'd like to know is what was the deal with you saying that you kill dogs and you have a farm of dogs and you think that that's good meat? What in the hell was that about?
It was to point out the hypocrisy in meat eaters.
Oh, I see. So you're vegetarian.
No, I'm vegan.
Okay. Well, good luck to you.
What happened to our education system?
Hi. It's my first time going live actually, so I'm a bit nervous. So I was wondering, sorry, I'm just a bit nervous right now. So, like, you don't believe in God, or do you believe in God?
I don't.
Okay, one question is, on your account, you said that you are, you're a world famous Christian. Is that like?
It's satire, ma'am. Relax.
Oh,
Take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay.
sorry about that. Okay, so can you ask me a question so I can just like answer something? Sorry.
How old are you?
20.
Okay, and what is your evidence for God?
Okay, so I'm Muslim, so I'm not Christian or I'm not Jewish. So my evidence for God, it's purely out of faith. So I can just like give you my points of view on the religion, and one of the views is that, sorry, I'm just so nervous. Is that the Quran was written a long time ago, like around 1,500 years ago. And it, the way many books are they have been written, and like for example the Christian books, they have been written but they have been changed over time, and so there could be like a lot of different interpretations about things, like sorry, just a bit nervous. But like for example, Islamically, like the Quran was written so long ago, but it can't be changed over time. So even if you were to burn down all the books in this world, the only thing that'll be left, they will be able to revive it, because it's
Right, but that doesn't.
memorized.
Okay, I understand, but that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it true, right?
Yeah,
Just because you
yeah,
have a book, hold on.
yeah.
Just because you have a book that doesn't change doesn't make it true.
Yeah.
So how do you know the Quran is true, right? The Quran says a lot of garbage, like snakes can talk. There's a big ass boat with all the animals. That the moon split in two. Stars fall from the sky. That shit don't make any sense, right? So why does
Okay.
your
Yeah.
Quran say all that nonsense?
Okay, what about the nonsense about when, let's say, when it's been written so long ago, but it been like scientifically only looked at it now? For example, like how fasting impacts you as a person, like how good it happened, like how good it is, because back then people thought that it was like a deadly thing to do because people can be deficient in nutrients, vitamins. Well, nowadays
Okay,
doctors.
does fasting mean that, is that godly knowledge to know that fasting helps you? I don't think so.
I don't
I don't
I
think it
don't
takes a God
agree.
to know that.
I don't agree, but I think it's more like it's something that's been written before, and now it's just being discovered, just like the sun and the moon. Like it's been written in the book, and it's
No,
funny.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're cherry picking here, right? This is
Sorry,
what
sorry.
Muslims do all the time. They cherry pick. Oh, look, the Quran talks about the big boom. It doesn't. The Quran says that the sun orbits the earth, that the earth is flat, that the stars can fall from the sky. The Quran is a book of fairy tales. I'm sorry, man.
No
But
worries, no worries. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Like everyone has their views, and like
no,
I
it's
really
not about
appreciate.
my views. Look, you're not addressing what I'm telling you. How do you explain the nonsense in the Quran? It's literally nonsense. Defend it. Defend the Noah's Ark thing. There's no evidence of that. It's impossible. How
Defense.
can you
Sorry,
believe these silly things?
defense. Sorry, what is it? Like no. What was
Noah's
the word?
Ark and Adam and Eve and all these nonsense things.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying that I'm sorry. It's like my first time going on live, so I was a bit like scared. So I really appreciate you trying to give me, the first time to go actually and talk to someone. Thank you.
Okay. Can you defend it or do you have to come back next time?
We gotta start somewhere. So I appreciate you, and I'll probably.
Next. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yep. What do you got?
What's the word? How is God imaginary? I just want to know, like, what you see, like, why you think that.
Well, it's very logically inconsistent. There's no evidence for it. There's the omni paradoxes, the problem of evil, all those things.
Oh, does it have to do with like you don't like see it?
It's not that I don't see it. It's just there's no evidence. There's no reason to think it's true.
How?
There's no reason for it to be true. Can you give me a reason?
Well, like I don't know. I just like wondering. Like I don't watch your lives a lot, but like sometimes I see you and you're like defending God, and then sometimes you're vegan, sometimes you're not. So I don't. I'm kind of
Who cares
lost.
about me, sir? Who cares about me? Can you just show me that God exists?
What's the word? Okay, hold on, wait. Do you have like a can I like go with you real quick? Like, do you have like a like a girlfriend or something?
How old are you?
18. Anyway, I want to debunk some.
Wait. What were
I'm
you born?
18.
What
Can
year
I
were you
want
born?
to can I
What
talk?
year were you born?
2005,
What month?
February 26th. Brother,
Have a
don't
good
kick
day.
me. Hold on.
Don't kick me. I'm a Christ defender. Wait, don't do it.
You guys are saying I'm scared. They're saying I'm scared. I'm scared of a 12-year-old. Shiver me timber. All right, so the next victim in here. Hello? YouTube. I got all my. Go check it out. Hello?
Oh my God.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 40 years old, man.
Okay, what do you got?
All right, what I got is, what are you made of most? What is the human body made of most? Just a simple question.
What do you mean? In terms of what?
Like, what is the body made of most?
Carbon atoms?
Water, right?
Hydrogen atoms?
Water.
Water? Okay, in terms of
Okay.
material?
And God said you were in his image, right? God is nature,
That's just
man.
what a book says. Dude, what's your evidence of God?
No. I'm not going with a book. I'm going with nature in general. I believe God is water. If you don't drink water, you'll die. You suffocate in many ways. I'm not getting with the whole revelations.
Behold!
That's right.
Water God.
That's right. Don't drink it and see what would happen, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, don't drink it and see what would be the outcome, right?
Yes, master. Yes, master. All right. God is water.
Hey. Hello.
Can you demonstrate God, please?
There's a whole bunch of evidence in the Bible. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that show like why he exists and like.
Okay, how old are you, buddy?
I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2004, April 25th.
Bro can't do simple math and he thinks he can prove God.
Hey, bro.
How old are you?
Hey, bro. Can you see me?
No, dude. How old are you?
See me now?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 22. Bro, I really think that you're incorrect, man. How you're coming about this is really wrong. I've been watching you for a couple of days now. Dude, you have a really big misconception about what God is. You are God. You understand that? You are made in his image. You look like him, bro. Are you a moron? Are you stupid? You look like him. You get that?
God is
You
white?
are made in his image. So stop
God
asking,
is
what does he look like? What does he look what?
God is a white guy?
You look like him. You look like him. Are you dumb?
God is white?
Read the book. Dude, it's right here. Read it. Read the book. Don't get mad and then take me off. You want proof that he exists, right? You look like him, dude. You are proof. You are made in his image.
Wait, so what is that? What does God look like?
He looks like you. He looks
So
literally
he's
like
white.
you.
So he's a white guy.
Oh, you want to say he's white? Yeah, he is white. In the Bible, is described as white. His head is white. Dude, why are you laughing? Like you know what I'm talking about. Why are you laughing? Are
What
you
verse
mad
does
because
it
you're
say
being
God's
challenged right now? I know more about anything than you do.
What verse does it say God's white?
Dude, we can go into the book of John where he describes him, man. Come on. Stop
Great.
trying to
What, give the
say
verse.
what
Give the
verse. Stop trying to
verse.
say what verse. You don't even want to go and see for yourself. You
What's
just
the
want
verse?
somebody to prove it to you. Stop
Yeah,
trying to
do
get
it. What's the
answers
verse?
handed to you, bro. That's
What's
not
the
how
verse?
God works. Stop trying to get slapped by God, man. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get backslapped. That's not
Bro,
how
I
you
can't
want
tell
it,
if you're
bro.
serious or joking,
You
bro.
keep trying to like throw all this trash about people, how they're laughing because God is water. Dude,
So we have God as water, then we have God as a white guy. My oh my.
It's unconstitutional. But on the other side of the debate, supporters say it's meant to protect children.
Bro's watching Fox News.
Hello?
Yep, what do you got?
Adam Levine's cousin looking fine as fuck.
Oh my god.
Okay, that took some time. Okay, so ask me a couple of questions if you want. Do you have some questions
Dude,
or?
come on, just can you read? Can you prove me wrong?
Okay. Can I prove you wrong? Okay. So you go by the Big Bang Theory, right? I'm just asking you. You go by the Big Bang Theory,
Go
right?
buy it? What do you mean I go buy it?
No. Fuck. Sorry, not that very good at English. So you're an atheist. You believe in the Big Bang Theory. Like everything comes out of Big Bang. Did
Do
you
you know
know
what the
that
Big Bang
originally
is?
the Big
Look,
Bang
look,
Theory
look,
was
look. Do you know?
invented to prove the existence of God?
Do
So
you
what you're
even know?
following is actually
Hold on.
basically
Hold on.
okay.
Do you know
Go
what
on.
the Big Bang even means?
Yes, I know exactly what it means.
What's the Big Bang?
Okay, so how you describe it is the like compression of matter where nothing existed yet. Something went poof, a fucking big ass what's it called? Not implosion. Yeah, it's implosion. Imploded on itself. Fucking
No, sir. You don't know what you're talking about. The Big Bang
okay,
is
I
an
don't know what I'm talking.
illusion.
Okay. Explain how God is imaginary then. Explain that to me.
God, depends what God you're thinking of. Are you
I'm
Christian?
Christian. I'm Orthodox Christian.
Okay, great. Is God all good?
Yes, God is all good. God is almighty.
Does God get all of its desires?
What?
Does God get everything he desires?
God is almighty. God, what the fuck is that question? God is almighty. God can do whatever he wants.
So God get whatever he wants, right?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
I don't know where you're going with
Okay,
this.
great. Does God want everybody to go to heaven?
Jesus does. He sent his only son to die for us. If we believe in Jesus, we will go to heaven.
Okay, I
If we
don't
deny
care about that,
don't
sir.
fucking
It's a yes
interrupt
or
me.
no. Does
If
God
we
want
believe in
everybody to go
Jesus,
to
we
heaven?
will go to heaven. If we deny Jesus, his only son,
Sir, I don't need
we
you to
will go
talk
to
about
hell.
your religion. Do you think God wants us all to go to heaven?
Yes.
Yes or no?
I
Okay.
do believe so.
Okay, great. Last question. Does everybody go to heaven?
No.
Okay, great.
Because not everybody is like me.
So what
People
you
are
have,
like you. They
okay,
believe
I
in
understand.
fucking in monkeys, okay? They believe in monkeys like you do. We come from a fucking reptile.
Okay, sir, you're not going to come up here and do that garbage, right? The line of questioning I gave you was to show you a flaw in your position, which is God cannot be all good, yet there be people going to hell. Because if God gets everything he wants, and he wants us all to go to heaven, he should allow that to happen. He should make that happen. But he doesn't. Why not? Why doesn't God make the world where everybody goes to heaven? This is the evidential problem of evil. Go ahead and solve that problem for us. We'll see.
Okay. Freedom of speech, my guy. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, God is all good. Yes, he is. The absence of good is what made evil, right? So if there's no good, just like darkness, if there's no light,
No,
there's
no,
only darkness.
that's not what I'm asking you, sir. Why does evil exist if God is good?
Why does evil exist? I just explained it. Okay, so God created all good, right? But the absence of good means evil, just like light and dark, okay?
No, not okay. You're not showing me why evil is necessary.
Evil is not necessary.
Then why does it exist?
Well, actually, it is necessary to exist in the place of good. If it doesn't.
Okay, so then what you're saying is God necessitated evil when he made the universe.
No, he did not.
So then evil's not necessary.
Huh? Okay,
Sir,
excuse
is
me.
evil necessary?
Evil is not necessary. No. But
Okay,
it
great.
exists
So then why
even
does
though
it
it's not
exist? So then why does
necessary,
evil
In the
exist?
place of, if good cannot exist a place, then evil exists there. Just like light and darkness, okay?
Okay. How old are you, buddy?
How old am I? I'm 14.
You're 14?
I'm 14 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You didn't think?
No, I did when you made that terrible argument. Holy shit, he's 14. No wonder he couldn't track to anything I was saying.
How you doing today, sir?
Hey, what do you got? How old are you?
Oh, I'm 18.
Why is everybody so young here today? Like, can we get somebody older?
I mean, I'll answer any questions you got.
What year were you born?
05, August 31st. What's wrong with that?
Give us your best argument.
Okay. Who created the world? I don't understand why everyone who doesn't believe in God has a problem with simple beginning. If everything's created, it
It's a
obviously
flawed
has to have a
premise.
creator.
It's a question begging argument, right? You're committing a fallacy. You're saying you're
What's the
presupposing
fallacy?
who? You're presupposing somebody did it.
Can you create a tiger out of nothing?
No, I never said I
Why
could.
not?
I never said it's possible or that I could do that. Can you answer my question?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. So if the earth and universe was created from nothing, why can't I create a tiger from nothing? If you're your own
I
God, why
never
can't
said
you
it
do
was
it?
created from nothing.
So who created it?
Nobody created it. It
So
was
what?
perhaps
Okay.
always there.
So it was always there.
Perhaps.
So it was. Wait, is that? Do you know? What's
We
the
don't
perhaps?
know. Nobody
You don't
knows. That's why we have to say perhaps. You don't know for sure.
You don't know for sure where everything came from.
Nobody does, especially not you.
So you're your own God. So if
No,
God
what
is
are you
imaginary,
talking about?
if God is if God is imaginary, are you your own God?
No, God is an ambiguous word. What does it even mean? Right? It's just a word. So can you demonstrate that your God exists, or do I kick you now?
Well, I mean, obviously, something can't come from nothing.
Nobody said nothing's possible. Yeah. Take your time. Hello? Okay. Maybe he speaks through telepathy. Okay, let's get the next victim in here.
Hey, what's good? Okay, so
How old are you?
19. Okay, so look.
What?
I'm 19.
Okay, what's your best argument?
Okay, what was before the Big Bang? All this shit that is all around, the universe and stuff like that. what was
Before
there
the Big
before?
Bang, there was a big fat man who ate lots of candy and had big farts, and one of his farts was the universe.
You cannot answer
Now,
that question.
can you prove God now?
Can I prove it? Can you prove he's imaginary?
I could, depending on the God you believe in. If you think God is all
Any
good, I
god.
can
I,
debunk
I don't care any god because I'm not religious at all. But I do believe there is something about that has more power than
Power. Superpower.
Hey, dude, what's up, dude? I'm trying to hold my laughter in because like all the people talking before, it's just fucking hilarious. Okay, you're probably gonna kick me, but I actually agree with you. I think God is imaginary. I'm just trying to just listening to all the other people talk. It's just hilarious.
Can we get somebody in here that knows what they're doing? Let's see.
Hola, mijao. Can you hear me, Mr. Mike?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not the sharpest in the toolbox, but that something that started the beginning, whatever you call it, that would have to be God, correct?
No, not correct. Why? Why does it have to be God?
Okay, well, it would have to be God because whatever that something was created where we're at right now. Wouldn't you agree?
No, there is no such thing as creation, but let's say there was, it could be something natural, right? You can just say that there's something like a quantum field or something like that creating the thing we know today. It's never has to be a magic guy with a big beard. That doesn't have to exist.
No, and I'm not. So, for example, I'm not saying that it's a magic guy with a big beard. What I'm saying is, let's just say, for instance, it was the Big Bang Theory. Let's say that's whatever you guys talk about scientifically. Let's say that's what it is. Well, that would have to be God because we're here right now in this moment, living this existence together.
What do you mean by
and
God?
it hasn't fallen apart.
Look, if your definition of God is whatever caused the
So
Big Bang.
God is everything and all things. Well, however he decided to go about it. If he decided to do the Big Bang, well, then that's what he decided to do. Who am I or you to really say? But we know this.
It sounds
If
like
I made you a
you're just
pizza,
making
right?
shit. Drew,
No,
it sounds like you're making shit up.
You're not listening.
Drew.
No, you're to me, Mikey. Mikey, come on, man. Give me a.
You're making shit up out of your ass as you go, right? That's all you're doing. It's ad hoc. You're just simply saying, "Oh, look, the Big Bang. Who did it? Must have been God." That's ad hoc, right? You're doing it as necessary, as you wish, as you want it to be. There is no reason that in order for the Big Bang to happen, therefore there had to be a God that did it. No. And if you're going to say that the universe is God, congratulations. But that doesn't mean anything about a supernatural being.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice talking to you, Michael from Cameroon. Yeah, you said God is imaginary. Can I prove you wrong? Yeah, I can prove you wrong. Just one question. Are you imaginary?
No.
You are not imaginary, right? So if you are not imaginary, obviously God is not imaginary because you are God. Don't you know that?
No, I don't know that.
You don't know that because you have not studied more to know that.
Okay. Have a good day, sir. You got a God. You got a God. You all get God. It's like,
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Great, great. I joined the live so I can tell you your followers. Can you hear me good? I can hear you strong.
No, sir. You sound like you're in a submarine.
Sorry. Okay. So I do not believe that God is real. I'm not here to prove you wrong. Everything that these people.
Next. One last guest. I don't know if I can do this much longer.
Hello?
How old are you?
I'm 19. Why?
Okay. What do you got?
I came on to say I'm rubbing one out for you. I'm rubbing one out on your head.
Bro, just have...
What's up, bro? Question for you. You think God is imaginary? And when you say imaginary, can you just help me understand what you're talking about? Like, as in, you don't believe he exists, right? Okay. So, I'm just curious. Is there anybody in your life that you love? Your mother? Is that a chemical reaction? Or is there something more?
It's a chemical reaction, sir.
So your love for your mother is a chemical reaction. So that's what you absolutely believe? Okay.
That's what we can demonstrate, yeah.
No, but I'm asking, I got it, that's what we can demonstrate, that you can observe that through, various methods. But my question is, do you actually believe that the love that you feel for your mother is simply a chemical reaction? That's all I want to know. If you feel that way,
Yeah,
not that you can demonstrate it.
Yeah, look, what you're doing here is underestimating how complex neurochemistry is. The brain is a very complex mechanism, and it's not just a molecule. There's a very elaborate cascade of processes that have to occur for us to love, and there's many different forms and pathways. You are greatly underestimating the power of chemistry.
But I haven't underestimated it. I've just asked you
Great. So then
if that is the entirety of the experience of the love that you feel for your mother, is it entirely encapsulated for you in the release of serotonin and oxytocin?
Yes, and that experience is no more invalid because it's a chemical reaction. It is still a very valid experience.
Well, no. So then, in other words, we can recreate that. If we had the right test tubes and the right ways of delivering it to you, we can legitimately, on a soulful level, recreate the love that you feel for your mother simply by finding the right combination of serotonin
it's
and
not
oxytocin.
that simple. It has to do more with memories, perhaps images and things like that.
So I'm sorry, a minute ago you just said that it was that simple, that it was a chemical reaction, and now you're saying that it's no longer that simple. Is that fair to say, or did I lose you?
The feeling of love is a chemical reaction, but love in its entirety encapsulates much more than just a reaction. It encapsulates imagery and emotion.
So is everything that love encapsulates, is it scientifically observable, or is it imaginary?
Yes, everything's physical.
No, but you just said that love that you feel for your mother is more than the serotonin release that's observable and the oxytocin release that's observable. You said
it's not
has to do with memories.
Look, you're thinking that we put some oxytocin inside your brain and therefore you're going to love your mom the same way. No, it's much more elaborate than that. We don't know how you could replicate the specific love I have right now. That's not known to science currently.
So there's
What
my
it doesn't
point.
mean it's impossible. It is possible hypothetically, sure.
No, I
But
got it.
again,
I mean,
what is your
hypothetically,
point?
but
Look,
the point,
what is your point here?
So the point is really simple. The point is that you just admitted that the love that you feel for your mother cannot be explained through science. It's not imaginary. It's real,
never
right?
said
Hold
that.
on a second.
I never ever said that.
The
and
love that you
everything
feel
is
for,
fine.
hold on. The love that you feel for your mother is real, right? It's not imaginary.
Yes, and it can be explained by science.
Hold on.
Purely.
You just said it can't be fully explained. We don't fully understand.
I
So
never said that.
You keep
You
backtracking.
dishonest prick. I never said that.
Excuse
Stop
me.
putting
First
words
of
in my
all,
mouth when I never said that.
Look, I'll tell you what. This live is recorded.
I don't give a shit. You're being dishonest. I never said that science can't explain it. What I said was that you didn't understand, was that it's a way more elaborate process than just putting stuff in the test tube and giving it to me. That's what I said. Science absolutely understands it completely. Your hypothetical does not damage at all science. And you're talking right now. You're muted. Come back with an actual argument that demonstrates God exists. You're still muted, sir. Come back with an actual argument. It's the microphone one, sir. The microphone button.
Listen, I appreciate the advice here, my friend. Look, I'm not trying to be a prick, but I am going to tell you this. We had a genuine conversation. There's people in the chat that can verify. Did you or did you not hear him say that the love that he feels for his mother cannot be fully explained by science? If the answer is yes, just please comment in the chat so that I know
never
I'm not
fucking
crazy.
said that.
Why don't you ask the people that are in the chat? Don't ask me. I'm asking the people who've been watching our conversation. Did at any point in time he say that the love he feels for his mother
It
can't be
doesn't
fully
matter
explained?
what the chat says, sir.
Wait, did you or did you not say that it
If
can't
I
be fully
said
explained?
it, I was mistaken. If I said it, I don't think I
But
said
now
it.
you said it, so I'm not a prick
I
after all.
never. I
You're
think I
just a
never said it.
liar and you're
Now,
being checkmated.
Can you please demonstrate God exists now?
Well, I just did. First of all, can you demonstrate that the love that you have for your mother exists?
Yes.
No, you just said that it's beyond the oxytocin and the serotonin release that we can observe. Therefore, you can't prove that it's not imaginary.
I can demonstrate
So
my
the
love
point is,
by
the
my
love that you
actions.
feel for your mother is the
Sir,
same love that.
Stop.
All right,
Stop.
listen. Like I said,
I can demonstrate the love by the memories we have, by
nobody's
my
asking you
behaviors I
about
have.
demonstrations.
Can you,
No
sir,
one can observe
please
this.
hold on? Can you please hold on? Let me explain to you. Okay. I can demonstrate the love for my mom by the behaviors I have.
Asked about demonstration.
Hold on.
What can I observe?
You just said demonstrate the love. I can do it.
Scientifically. No, I said.
Yes.
Your point is
Yes,
that
sir.
everything can be explained, or otherwise, if it can't be explained by science, it's imaginary. Right? Is that a fair point?
No, I never said that. What I'm saying is,
then what is your basis to say that God is imaginary?
Hold on.
Let's start there.
Let me explain, sir. You're skipping too fast. Okay.
I'm just moving things along, bro.
We can demonstrate the love I have for my mom by my behaviors I have towards her, right? The photos, the videos that we've had together. That's how we demonstrate love.
That could all be faked. Now, my question for you
No,
is this:
it can't be fake, sir.
What is the
behaviors I have
basis?
cannot be
What
fake.
basis?
They are based on lots of data and evidence.
No, what
That
basis?
is how we demonstrate love.
What basis
Now,
are you using to substantiate
now,
your
how do
claim
you
that God is imaginary?
Now, how do you demonstrate that God exists?
So again, I already just did by virtue of the fact that I'm equating the love that you feel for your mother as similar to the essence that is God. I'm starting
That doesn't
there
make
as a
it
building
true.
block.
No, that
now,
does not make it true.
I'm going to ask you the same question in intellectual honesty. What is your basis for the fact that God is imaginary?
The fact there's no evidence for it.
Of course there's evidence. First
Where?
of all,
Where is it? Where is your evidence of God?
okay, number one, do you recognize that there are patterns in everything? From the single-celled organism all the way up through us.
Patterns don't mean God exists.
Of course they do. Have you ever seen a fucking Boeing assemble itself?
Oh, okay. So can
Pardon
you
my language.
Can you
Have
give
you ever
a
seen
natural
Have you ever
value?
seen a Boeing 747 assemble itself spontaneously?
Sir, please stop. Please stop.
Have you?
No, that's a straw man of what we think.
It's not a straw man.
No,
Just because
can
you've
you
learned a couple debate
demonstrate-
terms
sir,
doesn't mean
can
you
you
just
give-
throw them around.
Can you give a valid argument that demonstrates God
I
exists?
just did. The fact that there's patterns, okay, that there are observable patterns that are indicative of a creator. And by the way, this isn't me. Nick Bostrom. Ever hear of him?
Okay, so you're saying patterns.
Have you ever heard of Nick Bostrom? Can you answer the question one at a time? Makes it for a much easier conversation.
No, that's irrelevant.
You've never heard of Nick Bostrom?
No, that's irrelevant.
Have you
Okay.
ever heard of Nick
Now,
Bostrom?
can you answer my question? Are you saying that patterns exist, therefore God?
No, I'm saying therefore there's a fingerprint of a creator on everything from
Why?
the single-celled organism.
Why
Because
can't patterns be natural?
well, first of all, because according to natural, correct me if I'm wrong, entropy is natural.
Yeah. Why can't that be
wait,
natural?
is entropy natural or not? Because both can't be true. You cannot have creation and entropy exist at the
Yes,
same
you
time.
can. Entropy does not mean that the entire universe is becoming chaotic. There are pockets of order within the chaotic universe.
Again, the point being is if there are pockets, who created the order?
Nobody created the order. You're question begging there, right? You're committing so many fallacies and not giving a valid argument.
Go ahead and define the fallacy that I've committed.
Question begging. You're presupposing somebody put the order there.
Question begging isn't a fallacy.
Yes,
You're
it
being
is,
intellectually
sir.
dishonest.
Yes, it is.
Are you relying on the fact that
is a
your audience
fallacy.
is
It's a
vocabulary
logical
is
fallacy,
as
sir.
astute as yours? What is the logical fallacy you're citing?
Question begging. Begging the question is a logical fallacy.
No, begging the question is a way to get you to realize that you're wrong. Because simply
No,
stating
that
facts to you
is
is irrelevant.
literally a logical fallacy, sir.
No, a
Now, can you
logical
give a
fallacy
valid
would
argument
include
for
something
God?
such as a false dilemma. That's a logical fallacy, where I give you two options, wherein neither one of them is true.
That's not even fallacy. That's a false dichotomy. It's not necessarily a fallacy.
I'm sorry. Why don't you educate me? What is your background?
My background says, can you prove me wrong? You have not done that
No,
yet.
what's
Show
your
me that God
background?
exists.
As in, what do you do?
Show me that God exists.
What is your background? I mean, because you
Show
sound
me
like you
that
think you
God
know something
exists.
about
That's
debate. I'm just
irrelevant,
curious.
sir.
What's
That's
your background?
irrelevant. Show me that God exists now.
Gotcha. So you've been checkmated a third time now. You don't even want to discuss your background, but you got a debate background. You understand
cares about
fallacies,
my background,
do you?
sir?
Based on
Can you
what?
demonstrate
Because
God exists?
you can bullshit the idiot layman on TikTok. You can't bullshit me.
Sir, you have not provided a single argument today.
Just because you could say that, can you spell the word fallacy? Go ahead and give me 3 different fallacies. Quick.
Question begging.
Question begging isn't a fallacy. We already went through that twice.
Black and white fallacy.
What's that? Are you making this up as you go along?
It's like it's similar to a false dichotomy where you only give 2 propositions.
No, that's a false dilemma. Go on. I'm going to educate you some more.
Black and white fallacy.
No, it's not black
That's a
and white.
real
Why don't you
fallacy,
Google it?
sir.
Why don't you have your freaking chat Google it and see who's right and wrong?
Black and
Why
white
don't you look up black and white
fallacy
fallacy versus
black
false
and white
dilemma?
fallacy is a logical
Black
fallacy.
and white. You're hilarious, bro. What else you got? So you got question begging,
Oh,
which is a
yeah.
fallacy.
So
Black and white fallacy.
So you're going to
What
come
else
up
you
to
got?
my live and not know anything about logic and then
Dude, it's
pretend
not
you have
your
a
live.
logical
It's
argument?
TikTok's live, and you're hosting it. So let's get it
Great.
straight.
So give an argument for God.
I already did. First of all, your love for your mother is imaginary.
No, it's not. It's
It
based
is.
on neurochemistry, which
No,
we
it's
can
not.
demonstrate.
So got it. So you tell your mother that the love that you have it can be replicated in a test tube.
That's a straw man of
It's
what
not a
people
straw
actually
man.
think.
That's consistent with your point.
No, it is not. Nobody
just said
I
it's
could
chemistry,
put love in a
didn't you?
test tube. Nobody said I could put love in a
Bro.
test tube. What you're
I'll
doing
tell you
is
what.
you're-
I feel sorry for you.
I'm sorry, sir. You're not going to come up here and spout this nonsense. You don't understand the science. Nobody said I can put love in a test tube. Love is a process, not an object. And we can demonstrate this by understanding the emotions, the hippocampus, the amygdala, the emotional processing units of the brain. Oxytocin, dopamine, all these different hormones and chemicals give rise to love, the process of love. That's something we could demonstrate in a lab. Now, that's how we do that in science lab. Now, can you demonstrate that God exists, please? Give me an argument that demonstrates or indicates God exists. Give the argument. You're talking, sir. You're muted. Please give an argument now. Please give an argument for God.
Okay. So number one, there are many people who are much more intelligent than both you and I that have
No,
already.
stop. Give the argument for God or go away.
First of all, what you're doing is intellectually dishonest. No matter how good the argument I give,
Give the
you're going to
argument
pretend
for
like I
God.
didn't give the
Give
argument.
the argument for
So,
God, sir.
Like I said, go ahead and ask your chat whose
Who cares
point
about
came
the
clearer.
chat, sir? What's your argument for God?
Just because you're delusional and you're in denial, that doesn't make you correct.
What is the argument for God now?
Again, I already showed you. There's patterns. There's fingerprints
Okay,
of the creator
great.
on
Okay,
everything
great.
from a single-celled organism
Another
all the way
fallacy,
through your
a non sequitur.
hippocampus.
Now you're making another fallacy called a non sequitur.
Oh, really? Okay. So what is
Yeah.
the non sequitur that I've made?
You're saying patterns, therefore God. You made a gigantic leap in your argumentation.
It's not. I said that there are fingerprints of a
premises.
creator through the patterns that are observable.
So can you give the full syllogism for this argument by pattern?
What evidence would substantiate your theory? Or what evidence would...
Sir,
what evidence
can you
can I
give the
provide?
argument for God, please?
I've provided several. You're not listening. This is getting nowhere. It's getting kind of old. So I'm going to ask you this. What evidence would be
Stop
sufficient...
deflecting, sir. Stop deflecting.
It's not
Give the
deflection.
argument
I'm
for
asking
God.
you a question so that the time that I spend is
Give the
wasted.
argument for God or
What
go away.
evidence would be sufficient for you to believe that there's a God?
Any evidence, sir? Do you have
What
any?
evidence? I do.
Any
Again,
evidence?
fingerprints of a creator.
That's
right?
not
Like,
evidence because you have
of course
you
it
have
is.
no reason to think there are fingerprints of a creator.
Of course we do.
What's the reason?
Things don't spontaneously assemble.
Nobody said that they did. They
Of course
formed
you-
naturally.
This is your point. You think, so let me get this correct. Is your contention that we've evolved from a Big Bang, which spawned the entire universe, and then from the Big Bang,
No, that's another.
So what is your contention? What do you think has
happened?
happened?
Your straw man. Your straw man.
It's not a straw man. It's really hard to have an
Yes, it
intellectual
is.
conversation unless
That's
I
not
understand
the
what
Big
your
Bang,
point
sir.
is. What
Sir,
perspective is your point?
Sir,
What do you believe?
What's the Big Bang to you?
No, I'm asking you, what do you believe? I've talked enough for this live. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you believe so that I can even understand
Okay,
what
great,
I'm working with?
great. So the Big Bang is not an explosion where we spontaneously combust and we all come here. No, that's not the Big Bang. The Big
Is
Bang.
this what you believe, though, first of all?
I don't believe. It's based on evidence.
No, but this
The
is what you
evidence-
believe. Evidence. So you've seen
No,
the Big
it's
Bang?
not a belief. It's not a belief.
Have you
It's
seen
an
the Big Bang?
evidence-based position.
Have you seen the Big Bang personally?
Yes,
What evidence?
you've seen the Big Bang with CMB radiation, with the redshifting.
Those are calculations, first of all. You
No,
haven't
those
seen
are
them. You haven't
images.
seen the beginning of time.
Sir, those are images of literally microwave radiation from the Big Bang.
Okay, listen, let me be very clear with you. You are as much of a believer as I am. The difference is that
Sir,
your God
stop
is science.
gaslighting. Stop
It's not
gaslighting.
gaslighting.
Stop
Everybody in this chat
gaslighting and
knows
give
it's
the
true.
argument for God
You
now.
believe in the Big Bang, so you think that everything came from nothing, right?
No, that's not the Big Bang.
So where did the Big Bang begin?
It didn't begin.
Okay,
The Big
so
Bang
what?
is not a
is
beginning.
is the Big Bang part of your theory or not?
I don't have a theory, sir. We don't know.
Your contention is your
The Big-
contention that the Big Bang is the best explanation for our existence.
No, it's not an explanation for our existence. It's an explanation for how the universe expanded.
Do you believe it? Do you
I
accept
believe-
it as valid
I believe
evidence?
it based on the evidence that
Okay,
is
do
presented
you
for it.
understand that the Big Bang begs a miracle?
Where's the miracle?
That out of nothing, everything was created.
That's not the Big Bang. That's your straw man.
Absolutely.
That's your
It's
straw
not a
man of
straw
the Big
man.
Bang.
So explain to me the Big Bang in your understanding.
I already did, but
No, you
listen
didn't.
again.
Do it again.
It's an expand-
Summarize. Intelligent people can
It's a-
summarize quickly.
It's,
Go
an
ahead for the
it's a
benefit of your
rapid
audience.
expansion. It's a rapid expansion of pre-existing space and time.
From what? Rapid expansion from what?
It's not from what. There is no from what.
Of
All
course
the
there is.
space-time-
You can't expand nothing.
No, it's all the space time is expanding at all points.
From what? Expanding from what point?
From all points.
From
all
what
points
point?
of space time are expanding.
No, it's got to. If it expands, it's got to start. It's got to expand from a central point.
No, that's not an
Expansion
explosion.
in and of itself
No,
has to
that's
have
not
a,
the Big Bang, sir.
Look, the bottom line is the Big Bang, and listen, any scientist will agree with me. Okay, the people who do this for a living, they'll agree that it.
No,
begs
they
a
would
miracle.
not, sir.
And they
Stop
will.
it.
And the miracle
Stop. And
is
you're
that
committing- now
out
you're
of
another-
nothing,
another
everything
fallacy.
was
You're committing
created.
Another fallacy, appealing to authority.
Okay.
I'm
Listen,
sorry,
like
sir,
I said,
but the
this has
Big
been
Bang-
this has been really fun. But the point is, like I said, you've been smoked in your own live, and it's been a pleasure. Really, it's
Oh
been a pleasure.
yeah, you really smoked me by committing
Like I
several
said,
fallacies,
look at your
not
own
giving a
chat, my
valid
friend.
argument.
Look at your own chat. Like I
The
said,
chat
you
is-
want to
the
believe.
chat is
You
mostly
want to
Christians.
believe
No
that the
shit they're gonna
Big
agree with
Bang
you.
is a better explanation than God. But your mother's love is real, and it
Sir,
can't be
I'm
measured in
sorry.
a test tube. And I can't explain. And here's my fallacy. You're a joke, my friend. It's been a pleasure.
Ah, there he goes, running away. They know they have no argument. Look, all the Christians want to do is come up here and say, you believe the Big Bang, not knowing what the Big Bang is. The Big Bang has nothing to do with our existence. It has to do with how our space and time that we inhabit is expanding. And it is the best hypothesis, the best theory, the best model for how we are here in this configuration. The guest had no idea how the Big Bang happened. He strawmanned the Big Bang. He strawmanned love, the fact that love isn't just a test tube. It's more complicated than that. And he did not even give a single argument to demonstrate God existed. I'm sorry, but saying patterns, therefore God, is a non sequitur. And anybody in the comments who thinks I lost, go ahead and give the argument that beat me. What's the argument? Go ahead, give the argument. I'll watch. I'll sit here and wait for the argument in the comments so you guys can defeat me. Anybody? Anybody see the argument? Oh, I don't see any arguments because he didn't make one. Next. Hey, what do you got?
Yo, what's up, man?
How can I help you?
How are you? You having a good night or what?
Yeah, how can I help you? What's your argument? Oh, okay. Hi, how are you?
I'm not really good on the topic, but I just want to ask a couple of questions to get your opinion on it. So, how do you think Earth was made?
Well, the Earth is a rock, and it's produced by fragments of smaller rocks in the early solar system. There was a heavy bombardment period where there were lots of rocks and iron heavy metals smashing into each other, being heated up. So the Earth was a molten ball at first, and then over time it cooled and became surface we know, plate tectonics and things like that. So it took about a few million years for the Earth to form.
But then, if it cooled down, so why have we still got a core?
Because the core is being trapped by the stuff around it, and there's radioactive energy. There's radioactive decay driving the heat in the core as well. So that heat can stay there. It's cooling down slowly, but the heat can still stay there for billions of years.
And how do you think life was made? Like not just humans in general, like animals and like flowers, grass, and all that.
Yeah, life is a chemical process, and it's astounding. But flowers and people and apes like us and other apes, we all evolve through time because of DNA. DNA is a molecule that can change. It replicates. It can do certain chemical processes and yield the biodiversity of life we see today. It's an amazing, elaborate process, but none of it's from God. All of it is from a natural physical process. And we are apes. Human beings are apes. And we evolve like all the other apes.
So, if it's natural, like, I get it's DNA, but like, how did we become apes and then we suddenly became into human? DNA cannot change.
Apes. Humans are apes.
Yeah, no, but DNA can't change shape and form.
Sure it can. It's called genetic changes, genetic drift. There's all kinds of mechanisms that allow for genes to change. There's insertions, deletions, mutations, chromosomal fusions. There's many ways which DNA can change.
So, how are we apes? Because I'm seeing a lot in the comments. I just don't think we're apes. Like,
Well,
if we're apes, we would have 4 thumbs, 4 fingers.
No, all apes have 5 fingers and thumbs, opposable thumbs. All apes have this.
Well, some apes don't. Some breeds don't have.
All apes do. All apes have those. All apes have no tail too. They don't have tails. We all have fur.
So
we all have 2 eyes and a nervous system and a nose and a mouth, and we're all apes.
So, do you believe in anything, or do you just brush it all past?
I believe in facts.
But I just don't get how you can't think God made Earth.
There's no evidence of God. Do you have any?
I mean, Earth is evidence of God.
How is Earth evidence of a God?
There are meteors that crash into each other, but I don't see 2 Earths being made. There's only one Earth.
Yeah, well, that's because the solar system is now void of many meteorites. There's very little left anymore. But in the early history of the solar system, there was tons of rocks. There were many other planets, by the way, than ours. In fact, one planet smashed into us and made the moon. So the solar system is getting more refined every time we orbit the sun. Or it's getting more and more asteroids. The number of debris decreases over time.
One last question before I go. Do you have like a pure fact or evidence that God don't exist?
Well, there's logical proofs against God, the omni paradoxes, divine hiddenness, the problem of evil, a lot of issues with God logically.
Okay, thank you, bye.
Hello. Do you believe in the Holy Sprite? The Holy Fanta? Do you believe in
What? What in the world?
I just ask, what are we evolving to? What is our future ancestors look like?
Well, that depends on the conditions we are living in the future. We can't predict exactly what will be, especially because we're human and we have technology that can change our future. But evolution isn't like Power Rangers. You don't morph into things. It takes many thousands of generations to see major change. So we won't know for a long time.
Where are the aliens in all this? Are they our ancestors? Are we related to aliens?
Have a good day. How are you?
You a bozo.
Hey, good evening.
Hi, how can I help you?
Well, you wanted to talk. You have a title that you think God is imaginary.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, what I've experienced through my life is where I come to my conclusions. I've experienced many times where God has helped me, but one of the biggest, I can tell you the biggest time He ever helped me is I have 3 daughters. Out of my 3 daughters, I had twins. They were born premature. They had holes in their hearts. I prayed that they would heal. They did not need surgery. Their hearts did heal. The third one, they're now 23. They're much older. The youngest one I have is currently 5. At 18 months old, she had a huge tumor. She had cancer. They thought it was a Wilms tumor. It was not. It was called neuroblastoma. I had everyone I know pray to Jehovah God that it could be removed, they should be taken out. It was successfully taken out. To this day, she does not have cancer. We've done many MRIs, scans.
Very good. Very good.
I can tell you.
No, great, fantastic. Sure, I'm very happy for you. That's great, fantastic news. The problem is when you assume that God did it, because those birth defects can occur naturally. They can heal naturally, right? They're called atrial septal defects, and they can vary in size and may close on their own. So they can close on their own. In terms of the tumor,
the size of a softball or a melon. It was very large at 18 months.
yeah, but they can heal on their own. The body heals on its own.
So I've got 2 degrees, both with honors, nuclear engineer, computer engineer. I've refueled nuclear power plants all over the world, in Spain, Japan. I went to Fukushima after they had their disaster, and I helped them. Believe me, they've needed help for years. They definitely needed the help back in 2011. So I've had about 20 years of nuclear experience where I do inspections on nuclear power plants and I refuel them.
Congratulations, sir. Good for you. Now, do you have evidence that God exists?
Well, you have to understand DNA and you have to understand statistical analysis. So there's long strings of molecules. You have to have AGC at T. You have to have the four nucleotides.
No,
and
you
have to
don't.
have
You don't need that
RNA.
for life. RNA doesn't have those 4 nucleotides.
What's that?
RNA does not have those 4 nucleotides. There's different
No,
ones.
right. You don't
So
understand me.
you
So
don't
you
you
need
don't you don't
5.
need
What I'm
life for
getting at is
you don't need DNA for life. There's other
you need
types of
4,
life forms.
and you need RNA. Do you not need RNA for life?
No, you don't need DNA and RNA. You can have RNA living beings that are RNA living beings.
RNA is a requirement for the cells to be able to replicate.
Yes, yes. DNA does not came after RNA. RNA, there's something called abiogenesis. Hold on, let me explain. Abiogenesis describes a world where there was just RNA molecules in the beginning before DNA, right? Those RNA molecules as precursors to DNA could form proteins, form things like we have today. They're precursors to modern DNA. So again, you're trying to make an argument for irreducible complexity. The problem is that we have all the precursors required according to abiogenesis. And therefore, you don't need God to explain why DNA is this way.
What I'm getting at is it's mathematically impossible to have them spontaneously to be able to have all those components necessary.
Yeah, I just explained this to you. You didn't listen to me. I just explained this to you.
I don't talk over you, but you always start talking.
You're not listening to me. That's why I'm talking over you. You're not listening to me. I just showed you why you're wrong. You don't need DNA. You can have more primitive. Hold on, please listen. You can have more primitive molecules like RNA and ribozymes that can produce proteins and produce living beings in cells. You don't need DNA for life.
Well, there's a couple things I do want to ask you, and I don't want you to be offended. I'm just curious because I do know what my qualifications are in chemistry and engineering.
I don't care about your fucking qualifications. I want an argument for God. I don't give a shit if you're a nuclear guy. I want evidence for God. I'm sorry. I just want evidence or go away.
I can just speak to that also. I am. So what are your degrees in? I'm just curious.
Sir, I don't give a shit about degrees. I want an argument for God. Okay. I do have a degree, sir. You want me to flex on you? I went to a highly sophisticated university. I have a degree in geoscience. You want me to flex on you? I don't care. Give an evidence-based argument for God. Give an argument for God, sir.
Okay, so here I will talk to that. You want to forget whatever you studied or whatever I studied. In your mind, picture you are God, and you have friends, those people that know you, believe in you. Who would you want to help on the planet Earth? Would you want to help people that talk to you, that believe in you? Or if somebody did not believe in you, ignored you, doesn't pray to you, doesn't think you exist, would you help those? Who would you help?
Of course I would help them. I'm not an egotistical piece of shit, and I would force them to worship me. I would help them regardless if they care about me. I'm not an evil prick. I would help people who don't believe in me.
Absolute free will.
Prove it.
Every day I've been able to do whatever I need, whatever I choose every day, whether I want to do good or whether I.
But your choices are based on your desires, and your desires are uncontrollable.
I control my desires. I didn't have to go to Fukushima.
Oh, really?
I didn't have to go to Japan and help them.
Okay, great. So you can desire to have sex with a dog?
But I don't. But it
can you try? Can you try to do that? Can you try to have that desire?
No one stops me if I was crazy and I wanted to do that.
No, that's not what I'm telling you, sir. You can't desire that. You can't just choose to desire that. Desires come from the brain which we don't control. So if we don't control our desires, and our desires dictate our choices, we don't control anything about us, sir. We're subject to neurochemistry, the laws.
Every day I choose whether I want to get up and go to work or whether I don't want to go to work.
But those choices were influenced by your desire to make money and to help your family, right?
I could choose to do it a different way, though. I could
But
quit
your
tomorrow.
desires are not chosen. You don't choose what you desire.
I chose my wife. I chose whether I want to have children.
I agree, but those were not free choices. Those were choices based on your surroundings, your environment,
No
how your
enforce-
wife
there
looked,
was
how
no
she acted
environmental
towards you, her
forcing me
behaviors.
to pick
Those
my wife.
influence your choice. It was not just a free choice.
I see you think a lot differently than the way I think. But you have a good evening.
It must be your degree.
Maybe it's yours.
Yeah. I thought yours is so much bigger than mine, so that means
I
you're
never said
correct.
that.
Okay,
We
great.
think differently.
So
I'm
give
telling
an
you.
argument or go. You're wasting our fucking time at this point, right?
That's fine. I'll go.
Thank you. I have a degree. Okay, me too. Hey, how are you? That was the best argument we got all day.
Hello.
How can I help you?
Well, I would just like you to, speak on the Fibonacci sequence, if you could, a little bit, and the golden ratio. Within every single living organism, all the way down to the colic on the back of your head, has the golden ratio and Fibonacci sequence.
Oh, really? Okay, great. Where's your source for that? Where's your source for that?
Sacred geometry.
No,
in the Flower of Life.
no, sir. That's not what I asked you. Where's your scientific or mathematical source that I have a Fibonacci sequence on my head?
So I'm just saying, down to the colic in the back of your head, that spiral is actually due to the toroidal electromagnetic field that is the same Fibonacci sequence that comes up in every flower.
Okay, sir, can you provide a source for this?
Absolutely. I mean, it's in every ancient sacred geometrical book. It's in every tablet of Sumeria. Have you ever read the Sumerian tablets? Have you ever read the Emerald
Sir,
tablet?
they believed in a cosmic egg. They believed in nonsense. Look,
the Fibonacci
how do you
sequence
know
and
the
golden
Fibonacci?
ratio.
Look, sir, please.
Socrates.
How do you know
Plato,
the Fibonacci sequence
Da
means?
Vinci, bro. These are the greatest. Da Vinci, Socrates, Plato. The Fibonacci sequence has been proven since the fucking dawn of man. What are you talking about?
It doesn't mean God did it.
That shows to a universal creator. There is no sequence.
How do you get to that? How did you make that leap, sir, from patterns, therefore
what are you talking
universal
about?
creator?
Because that is the golden ratio. Okay. Why don't you look
Okay, great.
into
So
it?
please listen. Why is it impossible that the patterns in the universe were naturally that way? Why must they be created?
So you're going to talk about these patterns that to come into existence the same way a spiral rose blooms.
Sir, can you answer the question? Why is it impossible that the
You're going to
patterns
talk
of the
to me about
universe are natural?
these millions of synchronicities that are not coincidences. These are synchronicities.
Prove it.
What are you talking about? The nature and Earth proves it every single day.
There's a creator, sir.
Of course, I can't prove there's a creator, but do you need more evidence than to prove the synchronicities
Yes,
that
because
exist
those patterns
within
can
the
be
millions of natural existence?
Please listen, sir. Just as you say those patterns were designed, I can say they're naturally occurring.
Of course you can, man. Of course you can.
Great.
We
So
both
then
can
you don't
see
have.
that
So
same
then you
thing.
don't have
But
evidence.
I would say logic.
So then you don't have evidence that they're designed. My left ass cheek could be designed by God. He likes butts. Okay, great. It's possible, but it's no evidence for it. All the evidence suggests my butt formed naturally. Okay. So, can you demonstrate that there's a magic Fibonacci man going, let's make spirals in people's heads? Can you demonstrate that? Can you fucking please give a valid argument? Thank you.
It's you need to look into the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence in order to
Stop
understand what I'm
saying I have to
talking
look
about.
into it. Can you give a valid argument that demonstrates it's God?
I would. So if you can't logically deduce that that is at least a hint at a all.
Anybody can claim that I see a pattern, therefore God. That anybody can make that claim.
Oh,
Pattern, therefore cat in the hat.
hey, Mike.
Good evidence.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that no one's brought up this argument yet, because I've never seen an atheist rebuke this ever. I mean, they just don't want an argument for this. So
Rebuke it?
never heard of that
Refute it?
word. So have you ever watched Toy Story? See, it's a question.
Yeah.
So how do the toys come alive if God's not real? You ever watch Monsters and
That was funny. I gotta say that was pretty funny.
Hello?
Hi, what do you got?
See what's funny, Mike? When the going gets tough with you and someone challenges you intellectually, right? Your insecurities just show through, man. It's
There we
funny.
go. Another nuclear degree. What do you got? What's your argument?
My argument is that your insecurities show that God exists in itself. When someone pulls up a valid point, you sit there crying and you don't let people speak.
Okay, great.
Right?
Then give a valid point, sir, that demonstrates God exists.
It doesn't matter whether people give you valid points or not. You don't take it in. That's the problem. You don't understand it.
What? No, it's not that I'm not understanding it. It's that you don't understand it. You're not giving a valid argument.
No, you don't
understand your
understand how
argument.
to have a logical conversation with
Then
somebody.
give one. Then give an argument.
It doesn't matter whether someone gives you a logical argument. You're not going to take it. Your mind is already made up.
Let's try this out, sir. Let's try it out. I'm curious. Give
No,
us
I
your
don't
best
fall for your
argument.
bait, man.
Look, anybody can say that. Oh, you're bad. You're not. You don't understand the argument. Anybody can say that. But can you give it? Can you actually do it?
No, Mike. At the end of the day, you're a human
Okay,
being
great.
speaking
Then
to
go
other
away.
human beings.
Guys, I understand. Look, guys. Look at how easy it is to say that. You don't understand anything, Mike. You don't understand it. And then everybody in the chat who agrees goes, yeah, yeah. It's easy. It's easy to do. But what's hard is to actually perform the logic and demonstrate that it's valid and sound. That's the hard part. So if anybody has an argument, bring it up to me. If I don't understand it, good, you win. But I'm not aware of any such argument that shows God exists. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not convinced by any of these arguments. Oh, patterns, therefore God. Order, therefore God. They're big stretches.
Yo, the last guy was completely correct, by the way.
Great. So give an argument.
There's nothing that can be argued with you, Mike, because you won't listen. Like, you are
I'm
completely
listening. I'm
closed.
listening, sir. I'm listening. Just do it for the audience.
Simply observing the world around you is enough already.
How? How is observing my world evidence of God when I can just as easily say that looking around me is evidence of cat in the hat?
You need research studies to tell you that the world around you, the sky is blue. You really need these things that are so obviously in tune. Like, it is more likely that there is a creator rather than there isn't. It's
Give a
that
valid
simple of a
argument.
concept.
Give the argument. You're just question begging here. You're saying, look, I think it's designed, therefore it's designed. That's bad. Give a valid argument.
I think it's designed, therefore it's designed. Is what you think I'm saying.
Yeah, show the syllogism.
If you want an actual logical point, Mike, you're not going to get one because you simply are completely closed up at the possibility of
Well,
God existing.
then we're at a standstill because you're not going to give it. So why are you here? Why are you wasting your time?
I
Just
should be
complain.
asking you, why are you doing this, Mike? Like a lot of people in the chat say.
Because I want good evidence and arguments, and if it's not for me, it's for the audience. There's almost 1,000 people watching. It's not just for me; it's for the audience too. And I know you want to come up here and complain about me, but why? Let's try to talk. Let's try to debate me, right? Don't complain. Just perform the logic. Let's see it.
How you doing? It's a very legitimate argument, and I think we all should be able to ask this question instead of being closed and run on.
Great. So give the argument for God. Give an argument for God.
Right. No. I'm not, because the thing about it is that we don't ask questions. We heard something and we believe that, and we think as if that's a reality. That's how we run by. But what
Okay. Have a good day. Oh. Robin?
Hi. I have a question for you. As a female, give me one example where women benefit from religion.
I'm not religious, man. I don't think there's any benefits.
Right. Then I support you. I also discovered that if you read any passage in the Bible, any of the Bibles that have been written, if you replace the word him with her, it's pretty fantastic.
Wow, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, signing off. Good luck.
Does anybody know what just happened? I'm scared, guys. I'm scared.
Yo.
Hi,
What's
how can I
up? All right, so you had this guy earlier, the freaking nuclear science guy, and you mentioned like the fact that desire is like in your brain, and it's like a scientific thing, right?
Mm.
All right, so I had a question about that. So if desires are not chosen by us, and somebody has obviously, let's just say, the desire to hurt someone else, and let's just say they do that, and then they go up to trial for court, how do you deal with that in the sense like, if their desire wasn't chosen by them, then why are they being punished for the desire that wasn't chosen? Like they had no control over it.
They still perform the act, and yeah, this is a valid concern. Like, why do we care about responsibility if we don't have free will? Well, the problem is that we live in a society, and my actions influence other people's lives, regardless if it's free or not. So that's why we want to punish people who do wrong, because we don't want that to continue in our world. So why would we let them go? That makes no sense. Oh, we don't have free will, so we'll just let people do what they want. That makes no sense.
No, yeah, okay, I understand your point, but these people had no control over it. Like, no, I get what you're saying. They don't have
Who
to
cares?
perform on the desires.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Look, it's irrelevant whether or not we have free will. It's irrelevant to how society operates.
Okay, I see your point. I also wanted to bring up some other thing. If there was evidence for God, then what would be the purpose of religion? Because if there was evidence for him, then everyone would believe in him, and then obviously there would be no point because everyone knows that he's real.
Yeah, this can be said for any being you wanted to. Oh, Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat's real because he wouldn't show himself. That means Cat in the Hat's real because why would he show himself? It has to be faith. I can say this for anything I want to. That's why it's a bad argument. Or furthermore, why is he hiding from us? Why does God require faith? That makes no sense. If he really wants a relationship with us, why would he hide? Wouldn't he want to be here with us? Why would he hide from us so much?
All right, I see your points. Thank you, sir.
Also, why is it that people claim to have revelation of God? Why do people claim to know and see God all the time? That is a very good evidence. That's very good evidence that he can come down. So if he's hiding from some people, why does he? If he can reveal himself to some people, why can't he reveal himself to everybody else? It makes no sense. This is divine hiddenness, a form of it.
I see your point. Thank you.
Divine hiddenness is a very, very good argument against God.
Hey, how's it going? So your argument is that God's imaginary, or is he not?
It's imaginary.
Okay. I don't believe that. Like, there's a lot of things. I've read the Dead Sea Scrolls and I've read the Latin Vulgate and everything like that. Latin Vulgate's more in depth and more direct instead of like English being very dirty. Like the word clue, we use it as a hint, but in Greek it actually means a ball of yarn. So a lot of things don't translate correctly, and there's just a lot of evidence that there is a God.
Where?
Okay. In your DNA, it says his name, YHWH, in your acid ketones.
No. So.
Okay, in the book of John,
all,
how did John say two lives come together, basically talking about sex, and he goes, a light appears. They caught the light when sperm fertilized the egg. They don't understand why the light's there.
There is no light when you have sex.
No, when you fertilize the egg. And the only way to do that is if you have sex.
There's no light being made.
No, there is. They actually found it. Like a scientist was like just fertilizing eggs, seeing the outcome of it, and he's been over it 1,000 times because it has to be a glitch.
Do you have a source that sperm cells produce light?
Yes, because energy creates more energy. It doesn't destroy itself.
What? Where's your source that light is produced in sperm cells or fertilized eggs?
When the sperm meets the egg, it creates light. It's in the book of John. The other one I can give you is...
there is no light being... Where's your scientific source that light is being...
If I get it, I have to jump off your chat.
Well, you should have been prepared. You should have had it prepared, sir.
Well, I thought you would be more in depth, like, because you're the one that says he's imaginary.
There is no fucking light.
So you would have every article ever.
There is no light being made in sperm cells.
So when sperm hits the egg, there's nothing that creates that light.
There is no light being made. I think you're talking about the spark of life. Maybe that's what you're talking about.
John talked about it too. He goes, "There's God's divine light that comes through when life is created."
Spark, sir. It's not like an electric spark.
I didn't say spark. I said light.
It's not light. It's an electrochemical reaction, just as all of our cells do that. But it's not like a light beam shines out, like beam. No.
I beg to differ, but I can go another route with you too if you want. Let's see. Well, I could argue this one, but no. There's too much evidence that he does exist because we have science. Science, there's natural laws that are created. You split an atom, you get energy. Air has never changed its molecule since it's been used ever. Okay, so air's never changed. So a creator, it points to a creator. If you see a watch, you know that there was a watchmaker. Air's never been changed. Basically, the laws of nature.
Like air, like what we breathe?
Yeah. It's never really changed. It's the same compound for thousands of years.
So that's changed. There's more CO2 in the atmosphere. There's more methane.
But that doesn't mean it.
Water vapor. What? You there?
Yeah, I'm there. You more CO2. That means we cut down more forest.
Yeah,
that's what that means.
Air has changed.
No, it just means that we cut down more forest. Air has never changed. If air changes just a little bit,
air has changed. Air has changed. There's more.
Okay, but even at that, the natural order of science. If there was no creator, we wouldn't have science, because every 10 years it would change. It doesn't.
Science
It
is a
doesn't really
method.
change.
Science is a method, sir. Anybody
Science
can.
is a repeatability of something. If you could do it in Africa, you can do it in America. If you split the atom over there, you can split it over here, and then
Yeah.
it becomes a
What is
deeper
your point?
understanding.
Look, what is your point? That God had to do science? No, he doesn't have
Well,
a science
everything
lab.
points to a creator. Everything
What?
points to it.
What points to creator? Give an example.
Okay, so natural laws have not really changed. Science is not really an answer. It's a repeatability of something, a greater understanding of something, but it's not an answer. Science can tell me how my brain works, but it can't show me my thoughts.
Sure, we can. Thoughts are physical phenomena in the brain. They're electrochemical signals.
Can you show it?
We can measure thoughts with fMRI machines, sir. We can reconstruct thoughts with images, with AI. Look at what Neuralink is doing. We're taking thoughts and brain signals and converting them into text and data and images. We can measure thoughts. We can see thoughts.
But that's not 100%. Like if you imagine something and that Neuralink picks it up and it's 80% correct, it's not 100%. Your thought's still 100%, but that machine's only 80.
Well, it's possible that one day we'll get 100%. We can directly replicate your thoughts in a lab. That's possible.
See, possible, but not, it's not 100%. I mean, you can go into the Bible.
That doesn't mean God exists.
It kind of points at it, man. Like you got to look at it from that.
So let's rehearse your argument here. Your argument is we can't reproduce thoughts 100%. Therefore, God. This seems like a non sequitur.
My whole point is this. I wish I had all my stuff because I thought you knew all these articles because you say he's imaginary. So when I say something, you should know it since you have an argument to come against it. You know what I'm saying? We're both I'm ill prepared. You're ill prepared because I thought you had it. So we could have a global, a rational discussion, but we can't. There's too many gaps.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell that was. I should have every argument memorized. I should do his research for him. Hello?
Oh. Bro, who was the first president of America?
Cat in the Hat.
No, answer. Who was it?
George Washington. You're going to say, how do you know he existed?
All right, show me proof.
Here we go. We have his body. We have his tomb.
We have his body.
Teeth. We have his weapons. We have his documentation. We have his birth certificate. We have his house. We have his backyard. We have everything about him. We have his signature.
How do you know that was his
documentation. We have actual evidence of him existing.
Other people wrote.
None for God.
Down for him,
None
just
for
like
God.
they did God in the
No
Bible.
evidence for God, sir. You there? Hello? We lost you, sir. I think you're Googling something. I've literally been to George Washington's property in Mount Vernon. I'm in Washington. I've been there. I've been to his house. I've seen his tomb. Sir, oh, okay, he's gone. Searching arguments. How do I defeat atheists? How do I win?
I've got a book right in front of me here, yeah? It's one about the African mystery system, but it also mentions God, well, the creator, yeah? How they seen it as before religion come into place, yeah? You ready for this one? All right. The Dogon people of Mali, West Africa, are famous for their unique art and advanced cosmology. The Dogon's creation story describes how one true God, Amma, created all the matter of the universe. Interestingly, the myths that depict his creative efforts bear a striking resemblance to the modern scientific definitions of matter, beginning with the atom and continuing all the way to the vibrating threads of string theory. Furthermore, many of the Dogon words, symbols, and rituals used to describe the structure of matter are quite similar to those found in the myths of ancient Egypt and in the daily rituals of Judaism. For example, the modern scientific depiction of unformed universe as a black hole is identical to Amma's egg of the Dogon and the Egyptian Benben stone. Wait, hold on. The science of the Dogon offers a case-by-case
The
comparison.
sun did not shine.
The
It was too
Dogon.
wet to play. So we sat in the house all that
What?
cold, wet day. I sat there with Sally. We sat there, we too. I said, how I wish we had something
Oh,
to
one
do.
of them ones.
Too wet to go
Oh,
out and
one
too
of them
cold to play
ones.
ball. So we sat in the house.
Oh,
We did
dudes,
nothing at all.
dudes,
So
dudes. I
all we
know
could
this is
do
your
was
life,
sit,
but let me
sit,
just finish
sit,
this.
sit.
You're just gonna
Did
be an
not like
ignorant
it,
little
not
git.
one little bit.
You're the opposite of Jim
And
Carrey.
then
You are. Jim
something went
Carrey's gonna
bump.
hate your guts.
Something
You
went
know.
bump. How that
Jim
bump
Carrey
made me
thinks you're
jump.
knobhead because you ain't even
We
funny.
looked.
You're the opposite of funny, bruv. You sound like an idiot, right?
We looked, then we saw him step in on the mat. We looked, and we saw him, the cat in the hat. And he said to us, why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet, and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun. That is funny. Anybody can read a book. Anybody can read stuff, okay? That is easy. The hard part is demonstrating that it's true. It's the hard part. We've been offered thousands of religions, thousands of doctrines throughout history, none of which have been demonstrated to be true. Hopefully today you guys have seen that there really is no good argument for God. And in fact, all the arguments for God tend to be arguments from ignorance. I don't know how this happened, therefore God replaces it. God of the gaps. This happens almost every time. There's always the factor of ignorance that really leads people to their belief in gods. But as Neil Tyson says, God is an ever-receding pocket of scientific ignorance. The more we learn about the world around us, the less and less God becomes required. So, hope you guys enjoyed the live there. I'll take some questions if you have some. The fool says there's no God. Every religion says that. Every religion says that. Same thing. We're right. We're right. Okay. How are you equal parts handsome and intelligent? I have a degree. You want interstellar music? Interstellar? Okay. Don't Christians exhaust you? Of course they do. But I do it for you guys, right? These debates are for you guys. Whether I'm right or wrong, it's for you guys. To show you what debates are like, how to converse, how to talk, how to think, right? I'm not here to say that I know all the answers. I'm here to show you that there's a way to find the answer. That's what these lives do, right? They allow you to go, how do I get to the answer? How do I find the answers? How can the universe be deterministic if quantum mechanics is random? Well, those quantum processes can be determined by some quantum mechanical law. So, although they're random, that randomness is controlled by some deterministic law. And by the way, if it's random, how can it be freely made? How can that be freedom? You don't control randomness. I cannot control randomness. Why do civilizations have an innate desire to worship gods? They don't. Civilizations have worshipped many things. Worship is a form of praise. It's a form of, it's like an emotional thing for us, right? If somebody helps me, I praise them. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, right? And in their past, when good things would happen, we had nobody to thank, right? When we got a certain rainfall, when the rain came down, we would pray to the rain gods. Thank you, rain gods, right? Thank you. When we got pregnant, we would thank the fertility gods. They existed. You would say, thank you, fertility god, for making my wife pregnant. This is what happened before science. People did not know the world around them. And as emotional people, as emotional creatures such as we will look around and say, there must be somebody behind pregnancy. There must be somebody behind the rain, the thunder, volcanoes, the weather, death, suffering, harm, evil. All these, there is gods for everything. There are gods for everything. And typically when we say a god, they meant personification of something. We personified the universe. That's what God tends to be. We see through things through our perspective, a human perspective. So that's what we do. We make everything human around us. It makes us more comfortable. It makes us happier. It feels good to be comfortable with everything around you, right? Stories are passed down to make sense of everything. Right? These stories got changed, altered, orally passed. There's an elaborate process behind the evolution of religion. Yeah. But it all stems down to how our brains work. We're very emotional animals. We're very hopeful animals. We're not animals, but we are. We are animals. We're no special. We're not some kind of special being in the universe. We're just animals. Another ape on a rock. That's all we are. And you might be going, well, that's terrible, Mike. We're just apes on a rock. It's reality. For so long, we've encapsulated ourselves in these bubbles, telling ourselves we're not animals, we're separate from nature, we're different than nature, we're special, we're humans. That all is illusory. We are natural. We're animals, just like every other animal. And the sooner you recognize the bubble, the sooner you can pop it and finally think freely. Because it's so amazing to look around the world and recognize our place in it. That we're not the center of it. That's a boring world. Like we're the main characters. That's boring. There's an entire universe out there full of mystery and richness waiting to be discovered. And religious people are shunning that all away because they're clinging on to something that reassures their ego, right? Oh, I'm special. I'm special. I'm not an animal. Evolution? No. We didn't evolve. It's fear. It's emotion. It's ego. So that's where God comes from, that fear in us, that ego. What happens to your consciousness when you die? Well, you're thinking of consciousness as one thing. It's not. Consciousness is an emergent phenomenon. There is no one particle of consciousness that turns off when you die. Consciousness is a process that happens in your brain, just like all the other processes. When you die, that energy goes back into the soil, the air, the water, back where it came from. And yeah, the world is a great place to learn. It's a great place to learn about things around you. A lot of mystery in the world, and when you finally embrace it, instead of shunning it away, you embrace the mystery. You move towards it, right? A lot of people are so scared of it. Oh no, it's dark, it's scary. What happens when you die? When you run into those mysteries, you become comfortable with them. You no longer are scared of them. Now you can finally be free and untethered from those expectations. It's a really interesting perspective to have. It's undescribable, really. You can't describe it. But all I can say is keep learning. And the more you learn, the more you'll realize you don't need a God. You don't need us to be significant. That the universe can be incredible without God. It can be just as amazing and wondrous, if not more, without God than with one. And I can live a very fulfilling life, very happy life, without believing in any religion. I would say that my life has been enriched by my lack of belief in God. My life has only been better because of my lack of belief. Because religious people tend to take things for granted. They tend to take things for granted because they think that this is just a test. That we have an afterlife, so this life doesn't matter. It's just a test to see how well we can behave and obey God. You devalue life. But as an atheist, this life means everything because that's all we have, right? And now every day is another a precious experience. Every one of my family members is now more precious to me because I'll never get another one. I'll never see them again. Every experience we have is more enriched by my lack of belief in God. It's indescribable, but I value life so much. I value it so much. You know, I really do. And it's coming from a genuine place. It's real. It's a real, genuine care. It's not just like, oh yeah, God made me, so that means I care about it. No, it's a real and genuine care. Nobody's telling me to do it. It's a real care coming from a real place. You can't match that. You can't match that. You have to leave religion to get that. Because religion clouds your mind. It fogs it up. It gives you all these expectations, all this baggage, emotional baggage that you're now tethered to, and you can't be free and mentally. You let go of all this expectations, and now you're free. And there's so much mystery out there to learn, and so many things to learn about, that I am constantly occupied by learning, further growing my appreciation for life and the cosmos and people. Very, very amazing to leave religion. Kiss me and whisper to But that's why I do this. It's not because I want you to become an atheist. I'm not here to say you must become an atheist. I don't care what you believe. I care about people who are thinking and are curious and are courageous enough to ask the hard questions. That's my audience, right? I'm not here to talk to the Baptist from the South who doesn't. No, that's not my audience. My audience is for people who are on the fence, who are listening cautiously, courageously asking hard questions, willing to be changed. That's my audience. It's those people that can change. And if you can, your whole world can be different. Your entire life can change, and for the better. And it's not for everybody. Not everybody can leave religion. Some people need it. And that's understandable, but they're not my audience. And never will expect them to be my audience. But I do care about people who are questioning. I care about everybody enough to be an activist. Because there is something to fight for, right? Rights and freedoms and liberties and ideals. But I can't help everybody. VOR keeps ripping on me every week. It's okay. That's good. I love the hate. I really do. I love the criticism. It's part of the game. It's part of being who I am. I'm going to get people that don't like me. course. That's what it takes to be in this position, right? You have to take the heat, or you're just going to crumble away and never be heard. But I'll take the heat in order to be heard, in order to help people. I'll take the heat. It's not a big deal. I don't mind it. I'm competitive. I love it. We should have more of it, I think. Debating, and it challenges us. It's never personal, by the way. Almost never. But I'm not going to befriend you for the sake of being a friend. I'm going to challenge you still. No matter what you believe, I'm going to challenge you. Why do I challenge you? Because I challenge myself. Deeply. I challenge myself deeply throughout my entire life. I've asked hard questions. I've dived deep into my beliefs. So I do that for other people. I only expect that for other people. My standards are high. So I bring the challenge. I bring the push. I bring it. Because we're not pushing enough. School doesn't do this. And these are big questions that people ask. School doesn't tell you about that. School doesn't teach you these things. It's taboo to talk about religion, right? Imagine going out in public and saying God doesn't exist. I mean, people look at you funny, right? Debating is taboo in public, or for nerds, but that's what brings change. That's how everything we have today came about. People learning, people debating, discussing, conversing in big town halls and that's how change occurs. We talk about it. So that's why we talk about these things. I will be here 20 minutes more. It's your decision adding me. God wants to touch your heart. If God wants to talk to me, why doesn't he do it on his own terms? What is he waiting for? What is he waiting for? Right? Why is he hiding from me? Why does he need you to tell me he exists? Are you God's ambassador? I don't need an ambassador. I need evidence. I need God. I need evidence of God, right? Do you have it? No, you don't. Nobody does, because it doesn't exist. Jesus loves you, so then why is he going to burn me? If he loved me, why doesn't he show himself to me? If he wants a relationship so bad, why doesn't he do it? What is he waiting for? What's he hiding from? Is he scared? Okay, he's not scared. Then where is he? What is he doing? Why is he hiding? It's as if he doesn't exist. It's as if you're making it all up out of your butts. It's as if it's imaginary. Everything that Christians and Muslims are positing is just as good as imagination. None of it gets us closer to reality. None of it. Why am I mocking? I mock because religion mocks us. Religion mocks me. Says that I'm a sinner, I'm a bad person. That I'm not smart enough to make my own decisions about moral things. That I need to praise this man. It's a mockery. Religion is making us look like fools. Religion makes us do silly things, say silly things, do silly things. Look at the wars. Look at the terrorist attacks. All in the name of God. Almost all the attacks in Gaza. Oh, it's my land. It's my land, not your land. My Bible says it's my land. No, the Quran says it's my land. It's nobody's land. It's Earth. We all share it. Nobody has or owns part of the Earth. It's a rock. Look how silly religion makes us be. Oh, this is my land. This is a imaginary line in the soil. This is holy. Holy land. Or here's a black box in the middle of a big fucking. Oh, this is a magic box. This box connects you to a magic man. It's a box. You're walking around it. It makes you do silly things. Or let's all go to this place and bow down and eat wafers and drink wine as if it's blood. That's a cult. Look at the silly things religion does. Or worse, this person's gay. Well, my religion says that they're sinners. That's not good. That's silly. Why is it not good? Because they're different? Because you have a confirmation bias that, yeah, I'm a bigot inherently, and then, oh look, my Bible confirms it. My Bible confirms I'm a bigot. Look how silly religion makes you become. When there's an entire world out there that you don't have access to because you're so locked in this bubble of the Bible or the Quran. It's a bubble. You can't escape it. So, I do respect you. I don't respect your belief. It's not about you. It's about your belief. Your beliefs are bad. Get over it. It's not personal. It is not personal. Stop making it personal. This is the biggest problem. Another silly thing religion makes you do. It makes you think that these beliefs are sacred or they're untouchable and that they're tethered to your being. They're not. They're just beliefs. They're just beliefs. You're making it personal. Why? Why? There's no personal connection to this belief. It's just you are emotionally charged. So don't take it personal. It's not. It's about your belief, not you. So these are just barriers that we have to traverse when talking to religious people because of their preconceived notions of what's happening around them. They see the world through this biblical lens. Whereas me, I don't have a lens. Right? I don't have a lens. And furthermore, I'm able to put on your biblical lens. I'm able to see the world through your lens because I was a Christian before. So I know how you think. I know how you operate. And that's not a good position to be in. Look at how quick you guys are to say that I was never a real Christian. Look how quick you are to say that. How could you know who I am? You don't know who I am. You don't know what I believed in. You don't know what you're talking about. There are many, many pastors, ex-pastors, who are now atheist. Are you telling me that a pastor was never a real Christian? Come on. Come on. You are talking out of your emotions. You're never a real Christian. You're saying that because you can't fathom somebody leaving religion. You can't fathom it. It's impossible for you to imagine somebody leaving religion because you're so stuck to it. It's so toxic. It's so parasitic. It's like a parasite. It's like a leech on your body. You're like, how can you have no leech? This is my best leech. Take it off. It's a leech. It's sucking up your logic. So, yeah, this perspective is important to have.